Hello everyone and welcome to the LGS Summer Split 2018. I'm your host MangY and today I'm joined by Zharp and WolfeN. How you guys doing?
Doing well, doing well.
Great.
You guys hyped for this split?
Very. It's going to be interesting. A lot of good teams, a lot of evenly balanced teams. It's going to be very exciting.
Oh yeah. Right, now if you were a betting man, who would you put down to win at the current moment? I mean, we've got another week to examine the teams.
Ooh.
Who's looking strong?
Last time I put Mercury first. I think after learning more about the teams in this past week, I got to put Krypton as my number one.
Okay,
Just
Krypton.
Very solid roster. All around.
I have to say I agree with that. Now WolfeN, you've joined not too long ago. Have you possibly had a chance to check out the teams at all?
No, I haven't checked out the teams at all, pretty much. So the only team that I have checked out is Krypton, and they look quite strong. So if I had to go with something, it would be them.
So it's unanimous then. So the pressure's on for them. They're already 1-0 due to Titanium leaving earlier today due to player issues. So both Krypton and Osmium
Cobalt.
will now be 1-0 starting off the split.
Yeah.
Now Titanium is going to have a bit of climbing to do. They're one of the newer teams and they're going to be starting 0-2 coming into next week. So how do you think they're going to cope with that?
Oh, it's so difficult. I mean, every team's going to be playing 14 games. Already being 0-2 is an absolutely horrible start, especially because I feel like some of the teams that we're going to go up against, they might have been able to at least get out with a 1-1 week. So getting the forced 0-2 is very unlucky, and hopefully they can come back from it, and hopefully they can be here for the rest of the week so they can rescue the season.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay, we're going to have a quick look at the table over here. Now, it's weird seeing it fresh. After last split, we had 6 teams, and after week 1, all of them finished 1-1. I doubt something like that's going to happen this split, considering that the team count has increased, and the odds of that happening are very low in the first place.
Yeah.
What teams would you tip for a 2-0? Do you think Krypton will be able to do it, considering they're already 1-0?
Krypton's up 1-0, as you say. Obviously, they got the free win because of Titanium's withdrawal for this week. We're going to see him here in the first game. They're going to go up against Thallium. It could be a close game. I think Thallium has the potential to pull this out, but I would call Krypton the favorites for this one. They should probably get a 2-0, but, I mean, this is sports, right? You never know what's going to happen, so hopefully we get a close game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, at the moment, it's looking quite close. Radon's completely revamped, so it's quite interesting to see where they're going to be. Mercury has quite a lot of players from the old Radon who won last split, so I'd imagine them being quite a strong side, but as you said, they did look a little weak at a couple of periods during the past couple of weeks. Hopefully they've sorted their issues out and they can actually come in strong.
And Mercury is a team that has a lot of players, and I feel like they need to sort of get a roster together of 5 people who can be there every single week, so they get to play together and they get to get used to it. I feel like that's going to be very important if you want to make it far.
Yeah, definitely. What of the new teams do you think is going to perform the best? I've personally got my money on Thallium. They're looking like quite a strong side, but it's a bit unfortunate for them that their first 3 games are arguably the toughest out of any other team in the split.
Yep. I mean, Thallium, they're going to have a tough start, but I mean, once you get that over with, you should be coasting through, as you say. I think these are one of the teams, but this is one of the teams that could really surprise everyone. So, I mean, you have to play every single team at one point, so getting the bad games here at the start or getting the good teams here at the start isn't as bad as it looks. So at the end, the only standings that count is the ones after the final week. So
yeah, overall as well. Now this is going to go over 7 weeks, not counting playoffs. The playoffs are going to be a good 2-3 weeks as well, so over 2 months for teams to play this. So it's anyone's game. There's going to be a lot of substitutions, no doubt, with people not be able to make every single week, which can really open up things and create a lot of upsets.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, upsets are very likely. I think we're going to see it throughout all the weeks with all these teams, just simply because of all these teams having to swap out the players. You're going to see like different players on on each team every week. Sometimes, I mean, as I mentioned, Mercury, they have a lot of players. They're going to be swapping out when someone is missing, and I think that sort of thing could lead to upsets. Definitely.
Yeah, should be interesting. A bit gutted that the Mercury Radon game got cancelled today. It'll be rescheduled for midweek. It might get streamed. I'm not going to make any guarantees here, but that was definitely one game that we were both looking forward to, and well, we got shot in the foot, didn't we?
Definitely hyped it up. Obviously, Mercury, Radon, those are two of the teams, the three teams that we mentioned as the clear front runners during the split. But I mean, the game's getting rescheduled. Hopefully we get to see it, but we're gonna see Krypton instead, who is the third team out of the three. So as we said as well, Thallium looking pretty good. Their squad overall is actually a lot better than expected, so we could be in for a top match here as well. So hopefully it's gonna be good.
Yeah, the hype is real. What can I say? So, everything for the teams basically, and so And we're back. Sorry about the delay there. League seemed to have kicked all the players out of the lobby, and so everyone had to restart their client and join back in. So now we can actually begin the game very shortly. They really need to sort this buggy client out, right? Terrible.
I mean, League's having some issues recently. Definitely something I feel like Riot should look at, especially on the US server. It's a little sad to see, but hopefully they fix it and the game can continue the way we love it.
I'm not sure they have the money for that. I mean, considering they're quite a small indie company right now.
Yeah, I mean,
very
$1
true.
billion isn't really much money, is it? Not nowadays.
No, I mean, money, it's worth less and less. So.
Well, that's true. Inflation really does hurt a big, I mean, a small company like Riot.
Yeah, I don't think 22 billion a year is enough to make a good client.
Should be in for an interesting match. The game should start shortly here. In the next few minutes, we should be getting into Champ Select, and
Yeah, here we go.
see that we are in. So we have Krypton and Thallium here.
Krypton, last split finalist. Played Radon. Unfortunately, they lost that game. And as
Very
for
true.
Thallium, they're a team that's looking very strong. I'd personally rate them as the highest or the best team who's new into the league. Besides Mercury, who's almost old players meshed together.
Yeah. Full of old players, Mercury. Thallium, a little more new players. Gonna be interesting. New team.
Yeah, so we've seen the Rakan ban. It seems that a couple players on Thallium really love the AP Rakan build. So it's quite standard to get rid of players
Interesting.
who are really good on certain champions.
Rakan, Zoe, banned. Zoe, obviously just a very strong mid laner. Has been for a long time. You don't want to play against her really, especially not leaving her up for someone like Zymus, who is incredibly good at carrying the entire game from mid lane. So getting Zoe off, good choice there by Thallium, I feel like.
Yeah, so it should be good. And now we get the Cho'Gath. Quite standard. I mean, Cho'Gath's really good in a team composition.
Yeah, I mean, Malphite ban, it's a little weird. I don't know a lot about Thallium. Maybe they have a Malphite player, but Malphite in general, not that strong. Strong into heavy AD compositions, but in general, not the strongest champion at the moment. But if Krypton doesn't want to go against it, it's fine to ban out. They also ban out the Trundle, and we see the Scion coming out as well.
Yeah,
From
Krypton as a
Krypton.
team don't like playing against tanks. It was definitely something they struggled against last split. So they're seeing to rectify that. Oh, first pick being the Aurelia. Very standard. She's just so good at the moment. Amazing flex pick. She can be played in essentially almost every role.
Yeah, Aurelia coming out. Strong champion. Quick champ select here. These teams definitely know what they're going for. Thallium wanted the Yasuo and the Ornn. Obviously, those two, their ultis work well together. Krypton quickly locking in the Alistar, which is a great engaged tool. Works well with the Aurelia as well. Just get that engaged, get them locked up, have the Aurelia follow up with her stun so she gets the Q reset. I like this combo coming out from Krypton.
But they're looking very tanky overall. We've got both the Alistar and the Mundo as well.
Could be an Aurelia mid lane right there. Quite an interesting pick.
Yeah, definitely
Yeah.
could be Aurelia mid, or she could be played in the AD position at the moment as well.
Yeah, great first pick. You can flex her around AD, mid, even top. Like the Mundo's probably gonna go top, but I mean the Aurelia can be everywhere. So
Yeah, so it's another very good flex pick. I mean, you can put him into any lane. Technically, like now they have a really hard engage. Ornn first pops the ultimate, then Wukong follows up, and with Yasuo ultimate, that's pretty much like.
yeah,
That's a
lots
really
of
good
knock up. Lots of knock up on the side of Thallium. I do not like the Wukong. It works well with the Yasuo, but I mean on the side of Krypton, you already have three sort of tanky champions. The Wukong, he sort of needs to. Like, what he excels at is getting in and assassinating the really squishies. Mundo, Alistar, Aurelia, they're all not that squishy. I don't like Wukong into this, but we'll just see if they can make it work.
Something like Janna pick for support could be way they already have support, but something like Janna pick could have been like really good for Krypton right here, since they have like the opposing team Thallium has really hard engage, so Janna could have disengaged very easily. I think they need some hard disengage to prevent them from dying instantly in a team fight.
I agree. Also, Thallium banning out the Lucian and the Talia. And the Lulu and the Oriana coming out. On the other side, nothing special really about those bans. Lucian's strong ADC here at the moment. At least one of the few real ADCs that's actually playable. And Talia obviously got those complete overbuffs after she got nerfed pretty hard. So total overcompensation by Riot and another big mistake by them, in my opinion.
Yeah. Oriana and Lulu, they're pretty good champions to ban as well. I mean, they're just so good in team fights, aren't they? But
True.
it seems that Thallium's really going the side of hard engage here. They have plenty of ways to start a fight. They got the Nautilus, the Ornn. If Yasuo gets a couple knock-ups, they could go straight in.
I mean, if you're Thallium, you need to start thinking, yeah, that's what I was going to say. The brand, I was going to mention it. It's so good into this team comp. You have the hard engage, you have the front line, the Nautilus and the Wukong and Ornn and Yasuo. They're all going to get in your face, and that allows a champion like Brand who wants to stay back, who wants to stay on like a massive range, just throwing out the abilities, throwing out the ultimate. I think the Brand pick is very, very essential here. Hopefully, if it's gonna be a support Brand, I hope we're gonna see like an AP build at least, getting in towards that damage, because you're gonna need to do the AP damage, and I think the Brand could really be key if he's played well in these team fights.
Yeah. I mean, that Brand's going to offer some insane AoE damage, which is exactly what Thallium want. Also, letting Simos on the Cassiopeia is a big mistake for Thallium. It's definitely his strongest champion, so mid's going to
Carry
play
champion
pretty
as well.
safe. Yeah, if he gets a couple of kills, he can wind the game out of control.
I mean,
Anyway.
it's all about kiting on the Cassiopeia. You have all these champions who want to get in your face. You have so many knockups. It's very easy for Wukong to get onto you. So for Simos, it's about staying safe early, getting the farm, getting his items, perhaps getting a Sonia's pretty early on, so that the Wukong Yasuo combo won't kill you instantly. Because once all the engage is down and he's still alive, he's really going to be able to dish out the damage.
Yeah, I'm surprised with Krypton going with such a tanky build. It's not normally the playstyle they tend to go with, but I guess they're adapting and learning from their loss from the last split. I know more than anyone that this team definitely wants to win last split. They were almost humiliated. They got brought down a few pegs. They got overconfident. They came first during the regular split. Avoid scrimming, and that ended up biting them because they threw away in the final, essentially.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to try out something new, you want to test stuff here, this is your chance to do it. It's the first week. There's not really any pressure. If you do end up losing a game or two here, it's not the end of the world. Obviously, every game matters, but at this point, you can sort of use these games to figure out what fits you and fits your team, and what you're able to win with and what you don't really win with. So
Yeah, should be a really good game. We've got a minute left to wait for the spectator delay, so we're running out of things to say, honestly, about the teams. League of Legends does have quite a massive window that spectators have to
pretty
wait.
big delay. Obviously, 3 minutes is quite a long time when you're just sitting here excited to get into game. Only a minute left now. I want to discuss the Kayn here still. Kayn being picked on the side of Krypton into Wukong. It depends on who gets ahead, because it's two champions who really like to one-shot, and they can easily one-shot each other. Obviously, if you do go Darken Kayn, the red Kayn, you're not really going to one-shot. You want those drawn-out fights, but in general, early game, these two champions, pretty even, I feel like. They both want level 6, definitely, before dueling each other. And if they're going to be fighting over Scuttle Crabs, which is probably very likely, you want the help from the mid laner, and Cassiopeia, it all depends on if she lands the Q or not. So I think the Kayn might be put behind a little bit early, but hopefully Krypton has a plan with it.
I actually think the Kayn is really good considering, like, if you will go Dark Kayn, he has a lot of like engage possibilities. For example, with his knock-up, he can like stop and engage almost fully. Also, Thallium doesn't really have hard engage. I mean, like hard damage. Only they have a good one-po combo, but if they cannot one-shot the Kayn will stay alive for the entire fight, and he will keep doing like a lot of damage throughout it.
Definitely agree. Kayn, it's all about getting through this early game. If you are Thallium, you want to punish it early because, as you say, late game, when it comes to these team fights, Dark and Kayn will really just decimate these tanks that is on the side of Thallium. So
yeah, I'd be surprised if Thallium didn't play around ball lane at the start of the game. They have a lot of pressure there, and they can easily go for dives with Wukong's like strengths early on.
Yeah. Looks like we are into game then.
There we go. Oh, a lot of messages, man. It's ridiculous. No stream issues this time, it appears. So something's been done right.
The side of Krypton, simply because of the fact that Mundo, Cassiopeia could really spam out her E early if she wants to start that. Alistar, the Q, Pulverize.
Yeah, they both have very good pick potential, so anything can happen. Like if Nautilus has the pull, Brand has a strong AoE, but then Alistar at the same time has a knock up, which is like 5-man, and it's like they both have, in my opinion, a really strong composition early on, like at level 1.
Yeah, it should be a really interesting game.
Should be.
Okay, so we're now in game in 1 minute. And not much is happening at the moment. Krypton just being careful for possible invade. This Thallium team is really good at pulling off an invade if they really wanted to with the Nautilus hook.
Good to point out that Pink Ward on the side of Krypton is like really good, since it will give them like hardcore vision on their jungler movements, which is probably going to be really crucial.
Yeah, true. It's in a good position as well. Bear is probably not going to be walking through that brush on his jungle clear, so that pink ward should be there for a while, and hopefully it's going to give some good information on the side of Thallium.
Yeah, definitely think it will become huge, showing where the Kayn will be and everything.
So it was actually the Brand mid lane coming out,
Okay, Cassiopeia getting really good poke.
poking down.
Definitely taking control of the lane at the moment.
That is the issue with the Brand here, especially on the early levels. You don't really have the punish. You sort of just have to take this poke and try and avoid it the best you can.
Yeah, this meta is definitely wacky. I mean, it's just weird seeing Aurelia Yasuo in bot lane.
Yeah,
But Yasuo got level 2.
early
He's
level
going in.
2 on the side of Thallium. This is a
Great call.
ooh,
Yeah, that was a lot of damage right there.
a lot of damage down here.
No summoners blown. The exhaust still up from Alistar, which isn't the worst case scenario for them. They both went relic
Ignite
shield,
on
so they got plenty of potions.
That's true. They're going to be sharing a lot of gold down here.
Wukong already looking for some early invades. Cassiopeia
Yeah,
damaging the Brand. He's going to be taking quite a bit of damage here. Can Simos
Banjo
actually
taking a
finish him
lot of
up?
damage. Simon's going to get the kill.
Good play, and he flashes out of there. Very well played, and he kept his heal.
That is going to be really crucial for the entire laning phase, having Cassio in the lead over Brand.
Yeah, you don't want a
Jewelry.
Brand getting ahead.
Jelly on that Wukong. He was coming in. He was ready for the gank. Banjo just walked too far forward there. You have to be more patient. You have to wait. You know your jungler's coming in. That's just, I feel like miscommunication between the two. They should have had Simos there. Simos stepping up far in the lane and, well, getting away scot-free, really.
Gonna have to point out that Krypton has double relic shield on ball lane. Krypton has double relic shield on ball lane, while Thallium only has one, so that's gonna get a good goal later early on.
Yeah, and a bit of a mistake there from Bear.
Insane turn.
Really over chasing for the Ornn there and gets caught out by 3
Overestimating the
members.
damage of the game, definitely. Getting caught out, as you say. But good communication from Thallium, and the brand got the kill actually, so probably back in the game now.
Yeah, definitely redeeming a little bit. He's a bit behind on CS, but at the end of the day, I'd rather take the kill than be even with Cassio and CS at this point. It definitely punishes the jungler there, and it eases off some of the pressure on the other lanes, knowing that the Kayn is dead.
Yeah. Kayn put behind here. Banjo really using those double buffs. Putting him to good use there.
Yeah, Sai's just going to have to take it easy for a little while until those buffs wear off. I can't see him winning unless he outplays massively. Though Kayn is looking for the mid lane at the moment.
Yeah. Oh, he's actually going to get the flash. I was going to say it was a use of or a waste of time, but Banjo quick to use his flash, and needs to be careful here.
Definitely the ideal situation for the Cassiopeia here. Playing very aggressively.
Simos is so good at landing those Qs on the Cassiopeia. So essential to the champion.
Yeah, spamming that E. You want to get as much of them there as possible when you get the poison off.
Brown having the back again. Gonna put him at a huge elixir experience disadvantage right there.
Yeah.
Both top laners are very low. This could be interesting. And it's insane damage coming from the Wukong there on the Kayn. He's got to be careful there. And at the moment, it seems Thallium has bot lane priority. Which is really good considering the first Drake is Infernal.
Yeah. You want to be careful if you're the Ornn here. Mundo, obviously, once he gets that level 6, he can pop the ulti. He just regens. He can all in you.
Quite risky Infernal though.
Seems
very risky.
Ornn gets the 6 first. He can maybe try something here. And a very risky Drake here.
Oh, this is going to end very bad for Thallium. Great
Oh,
Alistar combo.
great knock-up from Alistar. They're going to get 1 kill. Can they get 2?
Oh, Westmo!
Westmo, he gets the kill there. Insane play there.
We're going to see, just like I said, the Mundo, once he got level 6, Andre, he knew he could just go in on that Ornn and Saring, really not respecting the power of Mundo. So, Westmo needs to get out here. Can he get executed?
Seems he will.
And
Flashes
he is.
the mastery to go out in style.
Great play by Westmo. Unfortunately, the rest of his team, not so much. I think it's it all starts with the Dragon Call. Obviously, it's pretty stupid.
It was
You
a
don't
very
really-
risky play.
You don't really want to do that. They don't really have vision control down there. I mean, no one's really dead. They don't have that much control down bottom. I mean, Aurelia and Alistar is always going to be strong, just based off base stats. So I don't really think that was the best of calls. What do you think, WolfeN?
I think even though it was a really terrible call, if Krypton was able to react to it faster, it would have been perfect. But they still did get the challenge. They still managed to get the dragon over there. So in the long run, it's gonna pay out. Even though they got into a disadvantage now, if they're able to hold up through it, it's gonna like stack up throughout the entire game. It's still like put your statistics straight, not like just the current gold situation.
Yeah, 8% extra damage, 8% extra AD and AP obviously becomes very huge towards the later games. Especially someone like
taking out.
Yeah, a bit of a fiasco over the dragon there. I was actually surprised that they decided to take on such low health.
maybe a bit of first game nerves there from Thallium. But we see Jellery here on the Wukong. He's in the brush.
And it seems like Krypton's been baited in here.
That's gonna be really deadly.
This
Really
is
nice
a
combo right
great
there.
idea.
Seems scared, trying to get as much damage as he can here.
Yes,
But
no, wasn't
it's just not
cheap yet,
enough.
though.
Oh,
And
the
Westmo,
ulti.
he's going in. He might
Alistar
go for the
doesn't have
dive
ulti
here.
anymore, I think. Yes, very well
Good
played.
Great play there.
Nice.
And he's just
Oh.
barely... No, he's not gonna get out.
That was a little unfortunate
kill
there.
as well.
Brand
I mean,
doing
this
some
bro-
serious
no.
damage.
Oh
A
my
bear and
God.
Sai both
No!
going down. Disaster
wow.
for Krypton.
Wow.
Oh no. That is horrible.
And he gets out alive. That is just icing on the cake for Thallium
The
right
idea
there.
is great. You see the Wukong bot lane, you know you can punish in the mid lane, getting the Kayn in there. But that was my issue with Kayn. You don't have the early game pressure, which is so important in this meta. And we're gonna see top lane here, Andre with the ulti.
This is going to be very close. It looks like Mundo is just going to lose this. Can Ornn finish him off?
Nah,
Oh, he's
Mundo,
going to
he
turn it
heals too
round.
much. It's impossible. It's just impossible. Mundo, stupid
Insane.
champion. Stupid champion.
Krypton really needed that. With the Mundo being 2-0, the champs like Yasuo and Nautilus are going to struggle a little bit in taking him down and getting on top of him.
Yeah.
But
I mean, you say this, it's a great outplay by Banjo, obviously, but he's still behind in CS. He has a little bit of an XP lead now, but it's not that much. It's not going to mean that much. The Cassiopeia is still in this game, and the Mundo is so strong now. 2-0. He has an XP lead. He has a big XP lead, actually, and I mean, you're going to have to try and get through this Mundo, and he's going to be onto you because all of Thallium's champions pretty much are melee, so that's definitely what Mundo wants.
yeah.
Yeah.
Also worth mentioning that stopwatch from Banjo was absolutely amazing. Like, perfectly timed right there.
Insane. Just very well played. Throwing out the ulti, stopwatch, utilizing the brand passive beautifully.
So,
think
they
it's
go for a
actually-
lane swap here. So, Westmo and Nautilus trying to extend their little advantage they
Oh.
have going here.
Are they gonna get Sai? No.
Ooh, good.
Wasting
good
the
flash.
ulti though, but great flash,
A
yeah.
little late ulti from Cassiopeia. Could have killed the Wukong if it was earlier, but other than that, very good escape.
Cassiopeia is definitely calling for some pings here.
Yeah, they're gonna try and get the mid turret. The Ornn is collapsing in here. Ornn is doing Raptors, which I don't think is what you want to be doing right now. It's gonna be caught
no.
out by Mundo. The Kayn's there as well.
Despite Ornn being behind, he's still useful in team fights, so that's why he's a really good champion to pick.
I want to continue talking about Ornn though, not to hate on Saring or anything, but doing the Raptors there, pretty stupid call. You want to try and get some damage down to the mid turret, and when you go up against this Mundo, I don't agree going for the aggressive buy of Sheen, going for the damage.
Oh, Krypton's going to make a TP play here.
Oh.
They're sending 4 top lane just to get the Nautilus.
That's a dead Nautilus, but a wasted TP from Andre.
They're
Didn't
going to
get
have to
anything
go for
out
a
of it.
Rift Herald for this, otherwise it was a waste.
Really good rotations though by Krypton right there. Overall, Thallium had the lead up till now in rotations, but that was a really good one. Definitely a better rotation.
I
right
want to
there.
see Thallium push out mid lane here, get vision around Dragon, make sure you get this Dragon to compensate for the Herald that they're going to do up on the top side.
Yeah, that would definitely be the ideal call to make in this situation.
Yeah, Krypton's unable to contest the dragon, so they should just go for the top tower, maybe even push with the Herald right away to force them, force Thallium to come to the base instantly, because that's 2 towers. But I guess they're not pushing it out. I'm surprised by that.
And another, a much safer Drake this time.
Yeah, better call, Mountain Dragon. 2 great dragons, honestly. I love getting me a Mountain Dragon when I play. It's just so great for pushing down turrets, getting the objectives.
Yeah, it's really the only way you could punish Krypton from sending everyone top lane, and there's a massive fight going on here. Alistar getting a double knock up.
Krypton.
They're going to be able to dive this.
This is so smart.
Yeah, this is exactly what I was saying to do a bit earlier. Go for a dive and go for 2 towers with the Herald.
Yeah.
Really good play right there.
Ornn and Wukong a little late to the party, and they lose a tower and 2 members.
Yeah, another great rotation, out rotating the entire Thallium team right there. Really impressive.
It's definitely took a while for this Rift Herald to die. Then you've got Andrew all alone in the bot lane, taking a massive chunk out of this tower.
Yeah, I mean, Thallium, their rotations, they haven't really been that good. I think once you got the Dragon, you want to recall, you want to start sending people towards top lane. You see the Herald, it's already spawned. You want to leave the outer turret. You want to just try and defend that in the inner turret. And both the Yasuo and the Nautilus got caught out by that. And Westmo, if he goes in on this, he is
He's
dead.
going to get TP'd on here. He does have the Nautilus with him, which does help a bit.
Ooh,
But
I really have
wicked
to
disarm.
cancel that there.
But Andre is so tanky. It's impossible to kill this Mundo at this point in the game.
Yeah, they're just going to have to wait, get some...
Westmo has the Ignite. He needs to put that down early onto Andre if they
Yeah.
want any chance of killing him.
They're going to need to wait
He's
for
exactly-
a couple mortal reminders to do anything to this guy.
Yeah, Thallium, even though they have a really good heavy engaged composition and a great idea, they don't have the heavy damage to kill Mundo or Kane. And I don't even think very late game they're not going to kill Cassio either instantly, unless Wukong goes like full AD, which I'm not sure he will. They're not going to be able to kill their carries if we go like very late. And that's going to, like, if they don't one-shot them, they're going to, like, Krypton is going to turn back and they're going to win the fight. In a long one. In a long
Yeah.
stand up.
Alistar is standing still.
Somehow survives that. It's just
Maybe a
so
bit of
tanky.
lag there. Oh, but the Ornn is going to go down.
Oh,
just
he managed to
barely
survive.
survives.
They're turning this.
Great
the
combo.
Yasuo, absolutely insane AoE damage coming from Thallium here.
Oh
They're going
my
to get
god.
4 members, and they all survive.
That's where we see the real bronze combo.
Oh, and Cassio's been stunned. She's going to die here.
Oh my.
And
That's a full ace.
The
Wow.
Wukong Yasuo, straight out of bronze, but it works. It's so good if you do it correctly, and we see it there. 3-man knock-up, 3-man Yasuo ulti,
That was so well executed. there.
beautifully executed. And now they need to... Oh, the Nautilus ends up taking aggro. That's pretty lucky there.
They could rotate top lane right now and take the tower, but I guess they're going to back.
I think backing, using the gold that they just got from this team fight is very important, because you don't want to be caught out anywhere by Krypton and not
Yeah,
be ready
exactly.
for the fight.
Exactly. Agreed.
Well,
Generally
Krypton
taking
definitely
blue.
struggling here now.
Good call by Wukong to go for steal the opposing enemy's jungle boss.
Yeah, agree. I also was about to mention the fact that Thallium's team comp with all this heavy engage is useless if you fall behind, and then they just did that right before I was going to mention that. So now they're ahead. Now the engage is great to have, and you can easily pick a fight that you want with this team comp, which is very good, I think.
At this point, if they execute it like very well, let's say like they get a 2 or 3-man ultimate on good carries, followed up by Wukong, they can full HP dive the entire team with no counterplay whatsoever.
Exactly.
Can't believe they came at that so clean though.
I mean, you have a 6-1 brand now that you're looking at if you're Krypton. How do you deal with that? Because the Mundo can't get onto him. He needs to run past every single other member of Thallium. I mean,
It's
and
too
even
difficult.
then, Brand can just stun you. The Kane isn't that strong. He's not going to do anything. We'll see here, but Wukong's here.
Maybe we'll get some insane AoE damage here. They're going to go straight for the Aurelia. Good call here.
Oh,
Aurelia's just going
Aurelia
to
is
try and
beautiful
escape.
W.
The Arnold hits. This should be Aurelia dead. But a TP coming in from the Mundo.
Andre
I think
coming in.
Mundo
He
should
should
be able to
clean
get
this
some
up.
damage here. He might be able to clean up.
You also have Sharmas coming in from behind now. He's coming from down the lane.
Interesting minion block to Wukong right there. Kind of unfortunate.
And Krypton are able to clean up there. Well played from them.
Yeah, it's a good collapse. Also, Thallium doing nothing with this. They are just standing around mid, 3 people doing absolutely nothing. Either you rotate top, you get the top turret, or you start rotating down bottom to help, and Westmo can get caught out before the 2
Westmo
others
going in
appear.
way too early on his own there. He's going to die a premature
Look
death.
at that
Oh wait,
brand damage though.
the Brand doing insane AoE damage right here, and he is godlike.
Banjo absolutely popping off.
And
Kane's coming in.
that's what happens when Brand has one good play. That double kill with the tower is just putting
So
him in a really
important.
good position right now.
Got him back into the game. Got him that lead in the lane.
Really surprised Kane didn't rotate top. Instead, did like Raptors over there. If he rotated top, there would have been no counterplay to it since they had a player advantage, and I think he would have been able to get a tower or even like maybe half the tower's HP on top lane if he went top lane straight up instead of rotating ball after Raptors.
Yeah,
Yep.
and we've got Drake coming up now, so we can be
We're
expecting
gonna have
some more
another
fighting.
fight.
We're going
Good idea there.
Orange
Poke
Sun,
out
but
the
no
king.
follow up. Good call there. And it seems Thallium's really playing heavily towards his bot side.
They want
Krypton's vision's
this
quite good
dragon.
there.
They need to go down now. They have a window here where they can go down, they can get the vision control, set it up. I don't want to start the dragon here. Maybe actually, Simons is backing.
Kane's
this
still
should
in
be
mid
safe.
lane here. They'll be able to take this uncontested.
If I was Krypton, I would have just rolled it straight up top. And taken straight into tower for the dragon probably. Or even mid tower because it's very low. Since they were doing the dragon. It would have been the best call. They're not able to
pretty-
contest anything.
Pretty passive from. Oh, Bear just smited a 76 health red buff. That's probably not the best smite.
It saves one auto attack, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
And Wukong here,
Actually-
standing in vision, he might get caught out. It seems he's going in, and the Ornal
Oh,
following up with
no,
the Yasuo.
no,
This
no.
combo is insane.
Krypton is just not learning from their mistakes. Go bottom. If you're Thallium right now, you go bottom, you get that turret. It's so free now.
They could also rotate Baron because it's spawning right away. But that's a risk as well.
You need Andre to back here. I think Krypton is sending Andre to try and get the mid lane turret, but I'm scared. If Simos gets caught out here, maybe that's an inhib.
Oh yeah, definitely. They can't defend with the Kane and the Aurelia. They're just getting absolutely deleted. They don't have that much health. Really only the Alistair can peel, but even then he's really limited in what he can do.
Banjo is definitely biting off more than he can chew here.
Oh, he's trying to face the Fed Mundo here. Can he hit the axe? Ooh, lacks of
Ooh, that
damage.
was really close.
And he might get caught out here.
Andrew should be fine. He has a lot
Oh,
of
it
damage.
lands! But Lollyblue is on his own now.
Krypton's on their way, and so's Thallium. We can expect maybe a big fight here.
Could be a
Oh,
big fight
no,
over
no.
here. Yasuo
Andrew's
just
still
died.
chasing here.
What is Saring doing?
Yasuo gets the knock up. Zaren's been caught out.
Oh,
Sharon's dead here.
That poison
Maybe
should
not.
kill him.
he's
Oh, he's still
gonna
alive.
get out.
And it seems Thallium might
he
turn this
survived.
fight around. Andre's taking a lot of turret shots.
This is the definition of a clown fiesta. Saring staying for way too long. He didn't have to stay so close. Got engaged upon and
Interesting
Krypton
game plan, yeah.
continued diving.
They're not in a position to do that.
No one dies.
They're not in a position to do that. They cannot follow it up.
I'm surprised nobody died there. That was some fight. I mean, a lot of low health bars. But both
I think
teams-
both teams will be playing around Baron right now.
Yeah, looking at the map, there's not any vision around it, which is actually quite surprising. I imagine Kane after Blue Buff will try and get a ward
Oh,
there.
Rismos going in on Simon. Simon's got caught out here, and he's just dead.
Yeah, this
That's how
Yasuo's
quickly it
got a
goes
couple
once
items
Yasuo
here.
gets on you.
That could potentially be a Baron right there. Okay, Wukon's back in, never mind. At least some deep vision should be put by Thallium in the Krypton's jungle to make
Yep.
sure that they have a free Baron.
Yeah, Krypton pinging the Baron, so they're going to be expecting to play some of that.
Bear could be caught out here, he's in a bad position. Never mind.
And
Kind of a
Andrew
risky Baron right
trying
now.
to be a nuisance. Kane's
Yeah,
half
the Baron
health.
was
They
started.
don't want to fight this. Kane could get jump on.
Oh, this split calls for Thallium.
And Westmo's taking insane damage from Mundo here, and he actually gets a kill.
Another
Seems like
great
Thallium is
Brand
making
ulti.
some
Brand's still
communication.
alive, but Aurelia's on her way. She should be able to clean up here.
Aurelia is definitely going to clean this up.
And the Baron's helping out as well.
Yeah, very bad miscommunication by Thallium's bar right there.
That was
Allowing
a very
Krypton
bad
to
call.
catch up. Yeah, everyone was alive. They weren't sure what to do. Stop Baron, ran away, fight. They had no communication right there.
But now Krypton's going for the Baron. Wukon's
Yeah, that's
on
a
his
free
way.
Baron.
He might be able to get a steal. Blastcone's still up, but there is vision.
This is not a good Baron call. The
This is a
Wukong's
horrible
alive.
Baron.
They know he's over there, but the Baron isn't dying quickly enough, and this Wukong can just sneak in, kill the Alistar, kill the Aurelia,
Yeah, they had to
Yeah.
stop it. They should have
and
just
they
pushed it.
realize that they're backing out.
If they had Bear,
They should've-
then it was an okay decision. But without Smite, they should have quit a lot earlier. And now the waves not looking too good. Top's pushing really far, so it's going to force a lot of Krypton attention up here.
Yeah.
In terms
mean,
of-
Thallium,
A lot of nerves here from both teams. I feel like a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, definitely some teething issues, though it's quite common in the first couple of weeks of the split before the teammates get used to each other. But honestly, the game at the moment, it can go either way. I personally prefer Thallium a little bit more at the moment. They've got the Drakes on their side, and they're quite a hard team to kill. Then you've got the Brand, who just does insane damage in team fights.
If they play it out smart here, I think Thallium should have this in the bag. Although it's only a 2k gold lead, I feel like just because of the team comps, the Dragons being in their favor, it's much more than just this 2k gold lead.
And it seems Krypton's going for more vision around the Baron, starting a D ward.
Really risky right there because they had no vision around the Baron, so it could have been caught out right there. They really seem to have any vision anywhere at the moment, besides their own side of jungle.
Yeah, Thallium's definitely got a lot of wards in Krypton jungle, whereas Krypton only looks to have one, which isn't the most ideal, but they are slightly behind in terms of map control, and we've got a Drake coming up, which, looking at the map, is going to go to Thallium.
Krypton has 0 pink wards in their inventory. That's really interesting. They should be having, like, each person should be having at least 2 pink wards in my opinion, because they're going to go clear that fast and they need the vision. They're just being really smart, trying to go for that ward, but has to back out right there.
You have another Mountain Dragon up. Oh, we have a TP coming in behind from the Ornn. Actually, this is going to be a big team fight.
Engage here, and Cassiopeia getting absolutely melted.
But the Yasuo is not there. And there he
Yasuo
comes.
gets a 3-man knock-up, and Alistar, he gets quite a good damage there.
Oh, Thallium's absolutely decimating Krypton here. This is not
so
looking
much damage.
good. You want to go to the Baron here. Quick Baron call. Just get it off the map. You want to get the Dragon afterwards as well, I feel like, and just start pressuring the turrets.
Fantastic engage there from Thallium.
Yeah, really good. Like that's Ornn right there. Even if you fall behind, that ultimate is like, it's just absolutely devastating.
Saring, he's made so many mistakes during this game, and yet he comes up big for Thallium there. Great TP in behind. Great call in general by Thallium, and just a well-executed team fight.
Yeah, that's a free dragon as well. They're not spawning yet.
You want to get the dragon, it helps your siege as well, especially with the Baron buff.
Yeah, and 3
Mountain Dragons just...
That's insane damage to turrets and hibs.
That's a 5k gold advantage. They're gonna be able to just go in, like, no counterplay whatsoever.
Yeah. Good call here, back it up altogether.
Over.
Yeah, if played correctly, Thallium should be able to end this out before 30 minutes.
Yeah, looking good. Not seen any pink wards bought during the reset though. Vision's definitely something both teams have to work on a little.
Bit of a mistake.
Yeah. Lack of vision is hurting them really bad this game.
Oh, Nautilus got one. My bad.
Oh, okay.
He must have just got it.
The one pink ward.
The one pink ward will win you the game in the LGS.
I mean, you have a pink ward by Dragon Pit. You want to replace that. You're not going to use it anymore, right? So, if that is Nautilus's, matter of fact, can I check that?
Elder Dragon's definitely going to take a few minutes before we start seeing that in the map. Just try and prioritize as much vision you can in enemy jungle, and try and catch a couple members of Krypton out.
Yeah.
It seems we're going to start an engage on Simos.
Westmo is going to get the
Westmo with a combo. Simos just can't do anything.
Simos, who we talked about, the potential MVP of the entire split, has had a pretty dire game here.
Yeah, the vision's not looking too good. And Kane here against the Wukong, it's looking to go in Wukong's favour.
Yeah, but this is when Kane starts to really, well, not really.
He just gets deleted.
Yeah, Kane's not strong enough yet. 1 and 8, that's definitely not like favorable right there.
I mentioned it during the champs today. I didn't understand the Kane pick. I hoped Krypton had something planned with it. They didn't, and he's 1 and 8 down. He's just been a massive thorn in the side of Krypton the entire game.
Yeah, we actually questioned the Wukong pick, but it seems he's actually doing really well with it. He's also in Death Stance, which is quite a strong item at the moment.
Pressuring 2 lanes here. The Ornn can hold the Alistar and the Aurelia.
Seems Thallium's going to have to wait for another minion wave or 2 before they can have a really good chance of getting this tower.
When Ornn's ultimate Call of the Forge God is up, I think they can just rush in. Ornn pulls it back. Nautilus just jumps in. They have too many knockups, and Yasuo has so many
Yeah.
openings to use his ultimate
The
properly.
Wukong ulti, the Ornn ulti, they're gonna come up at the same time.
Yeah, it's just
Brand
someone's
ulti
gonna
good.
die for sure.
Just getting the poke.
That
Oh,
yeah, that's not bad.
I don't know.
Oh,
what
and
Bear's
Ornn misses
doing
his
there.
ultimate.
No,
And
that was
now
a casting
Alistair, he gets a
poison.
really great knock up here. Can Krypton follow up? Oh, there's a lot going on here. It's quite hard to tell what's happening, but it seems that Thallium is
Banjo
on top
getting-
again.
Banjo just barely surviving. Westmo getting a 2-man ultimate in this game.
And it's cleaned up. That could
Thallium-
be game.
That's a
It's
game. Right there.
definitely going to be game. Thallium is gonna bring out the surprise here. The team comp working out well. We were discussing whether or not if they fell behind, it was gonna be hard to win with this team comp, but in the end, they had the team fight mid that just turned the entire game, and from there on, the team comp just too strong. No counterplay from Krypton, and what a start for Thallium. What a game.
That was a game with a lot of kills, a lot of fighting. It's just what you want from a first game.
Yeah, really great game right there.
So Krypton have now finished week 1 with a 1-1 record due to a default win against Titanium. And Thallium, they still got one game to go, so they could be the first team to go 2-0 this split. Do you think they could do it with the performance that we just seen?
Definitely, that was surprising. They're gonna go up against Radon. It's another one of these really, really good teams, but I mean, Thallium right now, they surprised me a lot here. Great play overall, and I think if you are Radon here, you gotta be looking at this, you gotta be saying like, okay, we don't want to give them this sort of heavy engaged team comp, or at least we want to make sure, as WolfeN mentioned in Champ Select, we get the Janna and Nami, one of these really good disengaged champions, because that's definitely what Krypton was lacking in this game.
Yeah. What was your thoughts on the game, WolfeN?
Okay, so if we went to as I mentioned, if we went to very late game, I'm certain that Thallium would have lost it because of the Kane's disengaged potential. That's why I think that like the Kane had very good potential as a pick, but the execution was just not done properly. He fell way too behind, and Wukong was just able to run over him. Wukong was actually running over everyone. He and Yasuo were just like absolutely demolishing with Brand. And then Nautilus and Ornn, even though they weren't performing the best, they had like really good engaged support. They were just like really good supportive picks right there. And well, Krypton not being able to do anything at the end, like they were just way too behind. I don't know if they even tried to fight out turret range. I think they should have just given up to the inhibitor and tried to like fight under 2-0 towers because they were just that behind.
Yeah.
WolfeN, do you have an MVP of this game? Anyone who really just stuck out in particular to you?
Westmo, I think, had the best 1v1 picks. Like he did very well in terms of like 1v1 and like microplay. But overall, I would say that probably Banjo Brom did the most in terms like overall damage, and like Brand is just a very strong champion, and I think he executed well, like poking at the end, doing a lot of work. Like I think he just did like the most work overall in the game, so I would rate him as the MVP.
Alright.
I have to agree. I think Banjo was the MVP. I mean,
I
he
think
went
my own-
unstoppable at one point, so he almost
Great Brand play, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's between a lot of people here. I think my own MVP would actually be Jellery. Being a jungler myself, I played a lot of Wukong a lot of seasons ago. I know how hard it is playing Wukong into this team comp. It's so tanky. You have Darken Kane, Mundo, Alistar, Aurelia. You don't have this sort of one-shot potential against these champions, and yet Jellery just made it work. Great engages, great follow-up on the Ornn ulti. He's really the guy who set up Westmo and who set up all the Brand ultis as well. I think Jellery would probably edge it out as my MVP for this game.
Okay, sounds good. Right, now we're going to be taking a short break before game 2. Hopefully it won't be too long a wait, but we'll see what happens. So, we'll be seeing you later. As for WolfeN, he will only be streaming this game. So, thanks for joining us today, WolfeN. Hopefully we might see you in a couple weeks' time.
Yeah, appreciate it. Had a fun time.
Thank you. Anyway, we'll be back very shortly. Bye. Hello everybody, we are now back from our short break. Now today, instead of... What's his name? Sorry about this. Instead of WolfeN, we
WolfeN.
now have Wallter with us. How are you doing, Wallter?
Hey, I'm doing really good. How are you guys?
Not too bad, not too bad. Did you watch the last game?
I've seen the like very late game, and it looked really weird.
Yeah, it's a bit bizarre, wasn't it?
Yeah, like everyone was team fighting, but like the team fights were so weirdly done, like out of nowhere, or like the dasher call as a free. That was weird.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to be away for a quick second, so I'm going to let both Zharp and Wallter speak quickly about these two teams and their expectations.
Alrighty. Well, Wallter, what's your expectations of these teams?
See, I've not seen Xenon play like ever as this roster, so I cannot even say anything about them as general. But like Mercury, from what I've seen, they've been pretty solid to be honest. We've scrimmed against them, I think, and yeah, they're pretty good. I would say they're mechanically solid and they have good understanding of like word placement and stuff like that. So
Obviously,
I
I fully dumpstered them, but you know, no one wins against me. So Mercury's still probably a pretty good team, right?
Yeah.
Rain, Sheeny, Joachim, bunch of good players on this team. Hopefully, we can get to see the potential that they actually do have. I think it's going to be very interesting. So, the thing is, with MangY gone, when does the game start? Haha.
It just starts well whenever now. Oops, it's the cast. But yeah, they should be able to start now, and we can talk about the picks. Hopefully.
Hopefully. But we'll just have to see if MangY has to change the scene, or if we're going to have to just try and tell you guys who these guys are picking without you being able to see it. We are into Champ Select, and the first band coming out of the side of Xenon is going to be Graves. So getting that away from Sheeny. Mercury.
I would say that's really good because Graves is really strong at the minute. So
I agree. Graves strong jungler, good at taking crabs, good at dueling. Katarina's going to be gone on the side of Mercury. They don't want Xenon to play that. I'm guessing by the names, it's Katasen from
yeah,
Xenon.
quite possible. I don't like the Zaya ban. I feel like ADCs aren't really that good in the moment. Like, I would understand the Lucian, maybe Ezreal pick if you're really scared of an ADC bot lane, but like...
Started to experience some Sayas in solo queue and in pro play as well, but still not really working out. It's hard because you used to rush the Essence Reaver, but it's a completely different item now, right? So
Yeah, it's not really worth it to buy now.
Udyr band on the side of Mercury, and Aurelion Sol is going to be the last band from Xenon.
I like the Aurelion Soul ban. I think it's a really good way to roam around the map and get an advantage.
I agree. We're going to see Aurelia final ban from Mercury, and the first pick coming out from Xenon is Kai'Sa. And Kai'Sa, obviously, very snowball heavy champion. Towards the end of the game, she's going to be very hard to deal with. I think if you're Mercury, you got to start thinking about, are we going to go up against one of these protect the Kai'Sa compositions? I think the Vladimir is a great pick into this, because if it is one of these protect the Kai'Sa compositions, the Vladimir can easily dive in. He does so much damage late game. He's one of those few champions who can easily get in and just completely explode all the squishies.
I'm back,
Definitely.
guys. Sorry about the wait there. I forgot to edit the overlays during the intermission.
No worries, welcome back.
That's fine then. Welcome back.
We
I
tried our
would
best to
say
inform the
Yasuo's
people.
open, which is really interesting. I think Yasuo would be a really good pick for the side of Mercury.
We just saw last game, Yasuo composition with a lot of knockups, a lot of engage, working out beautifully for Thallium. Obviously, you have to be able to execute it, but it's open here, as you mentioned, and could do some sort of
Bard
combo.
Shen. Okay, so they are trying to protect the Kai'Sa.
Definitely protect this Kai'Sa composition, it looks like. Question is, what do you round it off with here before you go into the second ban phase if you're Mercury?
I would say something like that's heavy roaming. I would say would be really good to just help snowball the lane, like a TF maybe, or Zed, Zoe even could work.
Yeah.
Otherwise, a Galio for the more protection, but like I feel they will start lacking damage.
It's gonna be Rengar, so We're gonna see jungle Rengar. One of these picks probably isn't going to be flexed. Obviously, we still have no idea where the Vladimir's going. It could be in the bottom lane. It could be in the mid lane. We can't really know yet.
I feel like the Rengar is not really that good of a pick here, especially since it's a protected Kai'Sa comp, which means that he will have a really hard time to actually getting anyone.
Rengar into Shen, probably not the smartest pick, but it all depends on snowballing early game. And if you're comfortable on the Rengar, pull it out. Why not? See if it works.
Definitely.
Cassiopeia going off. We saw Simos on Cassiopeia in the last game. Wasn't really that impressive. Kayn ban coming out from Mercury.
That's interesting.
I don't know. As a jungler myself, I feel like Kayn is in a pretty bad position at the moment.
I would be much more inclined to ban like Xin Zhao maybe.
Xin Zhao, you have Trundle open. We don't
Evelyn?
know if Mercury is perhaps trying to sneak in the Trundle, but where would the Rengar go then?
Yeah, that's the question
But
mark.
my point is,
Rengar
a lot
is quite popular.
Very true, but there's a lot of better, stronger junglers out there right now, open on the side of Xenon than the Kayn. So I think the Kayn ban's a bad choice. Going with the Lucian as well, I gotta say I'm not sure I like Mercury's team comp. The Rengar and the Lucian, two picks that I feel like are gonna struggle into the three champions that Xenon has picked so far.
Lucian's really dependent on kills. I mean, he's definitely one of the stronger AD carries. Now, I use that lightly because
Definitely.
they're not AD carries at the moment.
Very hard to play, but we know Rain can play it. He's a very decent Lucian.
Oh, could we be seeing the E combo?
Well, we'll have to see. I mean, where the question is, are you going to run the Kai'Sa? Usually, if you run a protect the Kai'Sa composition, you have her mid lane. The Echo's going to come out, or it's going to be the Malzahar.
So they're not opting for the roaming potential. They're more safe playing
Which
lanes.
actually
And,
ends up being a little bit less of a protect the Kai'Sa composition than we first expected here, I feel. The Shen and
Definitely, yeah.
Bard made
Yeah.
it look like it was going to be
Could have
really
maybe
all
expected
about
a
the Kai'Sa.
Galio or somebody like that.
exactly more shielding. Obviously, I don't think any of these teams, as we see the Ornn locked in, pretty standard top laner there. I don't think any of these teams are good enough at like executing what we see, for example, in the LCS with the two support champions just running around funneling gold into the Kai'Sa. But I definitely thought we would see some more support-ish junglers or mid laners coming out here on the side of
yeah,
Xenon.
definitely. Like a Karma or a TF would make much more sense than a Malzahar, but you know.
I gotta give it
everything
to the
can happen.
Master Yi pick though. If he gets his team fight, the composition that Mercury has drafted here is definitely a composition that you can run over completely with a fully stacked Jinzu's Rage Blade.
All depends if the CC is used properly by the Braum and Lucian. Like, if the stun is not used on the Master Yi, he would just run them down. But like, if Braum can hit a Q before Master Yi can like actually Q in, then he's done.
Yeah, obviously Lucian Braum as well, something to watch out for against the Kai'Sa and the Bard. I don't know too much about bot lane, but I feel like Braum and Lucian will have the advantage here. Lucian with his passive procs the Braum passive so quickly, and Kai'Sa shouldn't do too much early. It's all about Frozen Flow on the Bard. Can he just continue dishing out the poke? That's going to be so important. Making sure he keeps poking Lucian, he keeps poking Braum, keeps them away from Kai'Sa, because Condemned Ezreal definitely does not want Braum to land that passive onto him, and Lucian to just proc it, and it's going to be a quick kill if that happens.
Yeah, Kai'Sa's really squishy, especially against the Lucian Braum. Lucian just does so much damage early game, like if they do not play safe, or at least if Bard doesn't poke enough, like they will definitely get run over, especially if the Rengar, who can just come in like level 4 maybe, to do a cheeky gank, and just snowball that way.
I would have liked, looking at the side of Mercury, I would have liked different jungler. Shinny is hopefully going to prove me wrong. I love seeing a Rengar that's played perfectly, but I feel like with Trundle up, with Xin Zhao up, especially a Xin Zhao, if you manage to time your ulti well, which isn't actually as hard as it sounds, the Malzahar will be out of range when he's ulting you. which definitely is a great counter just to that champion. So obviously jungle pick, it was locked in third from Mercury. They didn't really know too much about the Xenon composition at that time, but I feel like the Rengar is very cocky to go with here before you know like exactly what you're up against, and I could see the Rengar struggling, even though it's against a Yi where he should have the pressure early. I feel like he's going to struggle. I feel like he's not going to be able to pressure the lanes, and Xenon, I think, is looking at trying to get an early game lead here.
They definitely have a lot more win conditions. I mean, if the Yi or Kai'Sa gets fed, then it's going to be really hard for Mercury to do anything about it.
For sure. I mean, you know, we hyped up this Vladimir. They locked it in very early. It's going to be so important. Mercury, Joachim, he has to step up here. The Vladimir, he has to be able to dive in, get the Kai'Sa, maybe even get the Malzahar or the Bard. That's going to be so important. He has to sacrifice his life for one or two people every single team fight. And then you want the Rengar, you want the Lucian to be able to pick up the pieces. So, very excited to see how they manage to pull this off.
Yeah.
See, I also didn't expect the Ornn pick into this comp because I don't think they want to engage that much. Because you have Braum, who's perfect for disengage, and you have Ringer and Lucian, which are better at like quick skirmishes. And the Ornn team fight is okay, but I don't think this is the best pick they could have taken.
No,
something like Camille could be much easier to win with, or like a Mundo. But
I agree. Definitely something easier. The Ornn, I mean, you're gonna struggle against the Yi. The Yi is just like when your Ornn ulti it's going off. The Yi hears that as a war bell, if that makes any sense. Like if you're Yi, you just want to pop your ulti as soon as you hear that Ornn ultimate. You just dodge it with the Q, and then you're straight onto Ornn, fully stacked Rage Blade. The true damage that comes from Master Yi, he can kill that Ornn so quickly, and then there's no front line left on the side of Mercury. And where do you disengage? How do you disengage with this team? Braum is your only disengage, and he can only do that much, so it's gonna be close.
Yeah, it's also really interesting to look at these elo differences between the two teams. It's absolutely massive. But Argon, you look at their team and they're actually doing quite well. They could be the first team to go 2-0 in this split.
Yeah, Xenon coming in here, obviously, great game before, so hopefully they can do it.
Yeah, it's really terrible. But hopefully next split we'll be sponsored by Riot Games, so there will be no delay.
Yeah, that
So,
would be nice.
What do you say to that?
I hope we get their Coca-Cola sponsorship with them as well.
And State Farm Assist of the Week.
Yeah.
This Discord is going places. Hopefully we'll be loading in a second now.
Yo.
Let's see.
Whenever the actual thing starts.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird delay that the game has. It's like, oh, you waited 3 minutes, here, wait a whole minute more. But here we go.
There we go.
And as always, it's so interesting to see with these types of teams, what are they going to do level 1?
Yeah.
Joachim
Will you be
standing
expecting
still?
any invades from either
Oh,
team?
he's coming there.
No, I don't think.
I think
gonna be an
if
invade.
you're Mercury, even though you do have the Braum and the Lucian, who are obviously great, the rest of your champions aren't really that special. Although I say that, and they are actually looking, they're gonna run into the Malzahar here, and they need to back off. They were seen. You need to walk out here.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
And nothing's gonna happen. Shen got some deep vision, I believe. And that's it.
Well, it's a
Nothing
plus
happens.
one.
Suspicion.
So nothing much. It looked like for a short second there we were gonna have a massive fight, but the teams didn't really want to do that. So I think
Yeah.
that's smart of both teams. Just you don't want to start off here in the first week just doing this dumb mistake of just trying to take a level 1 fight, losing the game off of it. You want to try and get some experience in, get to know the guys you're playing with, how they work in game as well, and just get rid of the nerves by having a decent game. Whether you win or lose doesn't really matter. It's not the end of the world. You just want to have a decent game, and get comfortable playing.
Yeah.
Definitely. It also lets you feel out the opposition. So even if you lose the game, you might be like, oh, okay, they play like this more, so we might be wanting to be more aggressive or less aggressive, or we want to invade more.
Definitely.
You don't want to take too much risk. You look at the last game, Krypton Thallium, and you could argue the game was turned by one bad play from Krypton.
I mean, what you have here, when you have these sorts of best of one games, like you have a great opportunity of upsets, and I think what we saw last game is an upset, but we'll have to see how Thallium performs over the split. They looked really good, but is it only going to be for one game, or are they going to continuously do that? Because we know Krypton has the potential to be one of the top teams.
You could definitely argue this split is a lot harder as well, just because there's so much more games in now.
Definitely.
And
Here we go,
seems
that
we're
is
gonna
the
get a
pressure.
bot. That's some insane damage.
That's a really good.
But Condemned Ezreal is going to turn this on Rain. Rain's going to go down here.
He might die
Minion?
from the last tick.
Echo's
There
going
we
to be in
go.
trouble as
That's
well.
the first death.
This could be a kill on the Braum. Oh, he manages just to escape there with his flash as well.
I think Mercury's just overestimating the damage that comes out from the Braum Lucian and underestimating the Bard, who just does disgusting amounts of damage early game.
The early game is the Lucian
I
Braum
mentioned
is
it in
so
Champ
strong and
Select.
impressive early. Like
The initial trade was great. Oh, Hendo's going to go in.
Oh, that's a really bad flash by the
The
Iron.
auto attack is blocked though by the Shen, and we are cutting to mid lane for some reason.
yeah,
the Shen lives,
Malzahar
it's
getting
fine.
turned on here, but the Yi, he's going
Oh,
Oh, the counter gang.
He is
Glad
dead.
it really
Joachim's
got
down.
Vladimir.
And Sheenie's not going to be able to counter this.
Can
There's no way. He's still level 2.
Malzahar was not able to get anything there, which is a bit
This is
unfortunate.
another bad start for one of our favorite teams here. Mercury, we mentioned them as a top 3 team. Xenon, not a top 3 team, but they're coming in here strong.
Yeah, they're definitely making a statement here, and it seems this split, if it keeps up like this, it's just going to be upset after upset.
Obviously, it's worth mentioning Mercury is out here playing with a sub. Akil is usually not the starting support. They usually have Cloud or Good Philip as
Yeah.
the starting support here, which
Oh.
could affect the team.
A lot of teams have got a weakened roster this particular week, just due to prior plans. Not much you can do. There's lots of weeks, so hopefully some
Yeah.
teams will have good weeks, other teams will have pretty bad
Definitely.
weeks.
The more games we have, the less impactful 1 week is compared to the last split. But
Exactly. Oh, Hendo?
still, the more you win, the more easier the end of the week gets.
Yeah, and Hendo is like almost borderline BM in there.
Yeah. Building an item just in front of Shen. He didn't actually get it off, I believe.
No, he didn't. The Shen hit him just
Oh,
before
was
it
it
ended.
Yeah, I think
Well
so.
played from Shen there. But he's 2 levels
But-
down on this Ornn.
Hendo has a 2-level lead. Obviously, pretty big wave coming into Sitco here, but he should still be a little bit behind on CS. And Hendo, once again, just looking so good.
Zico is definitely in trouble. Rengar's looking for a leg gank here. We can see if we
Ooh.
can pull it off.
I think this is a complete waste of time if you're Sheeny. I don't know why he's top lane. The wave's pushing into Shen. You're not going to be able to get anything out of this, and Shen can block your auto attacks, and this is going to give Silent Larry on the Yi a bunch of time to walk into bot lane. I think something's going to happen down bot here. Gonna have to
Yeah.
wait and see. Silent Larry, he's in the brush. Bard's going in behind. Rain's going to go down here. He has to. Where's Akil going to sacrifice himself? They
Oh,
need
that's
this
a
done.
perfect
and,
eat.
the Lucian's turning it on silent.
Oh, he's not able to trade the kill. Poorly
The
executed,
Braum.
I feel like.
That was well played, and Zico, he's going in, but he's going to manage to escape.
Yeah, as I
Shinny's been there
mentioned,
for ages, and he's
the
going to start to
Shen-
fall behind in the jungle.
the Shen is impossible to kill. It's such a bad call by Sheeny. He needs to get in. He needs to farm his lane or farm his jungle. He needs to make sure that he gets level 6. He stays there with the Yi. So he has to pressure, because once Yi gets level 6, he's going to be a force.
Zico's definitely in trouble here. He's low on health, and he's not got TP.
He should be safe on the turret here. Oh, actually,
Ornn's
the
going
Ornn
in with
ulti's coming
Rengar.
out. Sheeny's coming around again. This has to be a kill, otherwise Sheeny's going to fall too far behind.
And
And he's
Hendo,
going to get it. Hendo's going
he
to die,
survives.
maybe?
He
Woo.
lives.
Well executed there.
Alright, so in the end, Sheeny...
To be honest, I think it's less of a poorly executed, more to the fact that Brom's shield blocked the Bard's Q.
For sure, I
Please
feel like you
stop
could
this stun.
definitely... definitely turn around and say Akil played that well, but I still feel like the Yi was there in the brush for a good 20 seconds. If he went instantly, silent Larry, he didn't waste time in the brush, he went instantly, he caught out Rain and Akil. Akil got toward the brush just before they made the play, and he saw the play coming, and therefore he managed to back up enough to make them both survive.
Overall, that was a really good play by Mercury and poorly executed by Xenon.
Yeah. Also, Joachim, after that early death, he's found his way back into this lane. The Vladimir definitely outscales the Malzahar, and Katasen maybe just picking the Malzahar just to get that lockdown onto maybe the Lucian towards the later game, or the Rengar.
Yeah, and Ornn is just absolutely decimating this Shen.
Endo, really impressive.
He
Oh,
really-
the Bard's coming in here. Yeah, that
and
is...
Mal's ult just so good at setting up a gank.
Ooh, no flash from Joachim either, and Yi is gonna pick up that kill 2-0. That's not what you want to see
That's
if you're
definitely an
Mercury.
ideal situation for Zen. You want this E fed when it comes to team fights, and he's got like lots of kills under his belt. He just does insane damage.
So
It
far,
does.
Xenon is like playing to their strengths, to be honest. The Kaisa is getting gold. She's ahead now. The Yi is ahead of the Rengar. The Rengar cannot fight him now. They're just playing really well to their strengths.
So smart. Katasen says, hey guys, I have level 6, my ulti is up. He calls in Frozen Flow, he calls in Silent Larry, they both collapse onto Joachim. And, I mean, there's not much you can do. Once you're just completely rooted to the ground by the Malzahar ulti, you just can't do anything, you're dead.
Yeah, it should be good. Should hopefully be expecting some plays on bot side soon with the Infernal Drake being alive. Definitely one of the better Drakes to have under your team.
I agree. If you're Mercury, you want to use the fact that you, so far, have a stronger bot lane, but, I mean, right now, Mercury is just too passive. I mean, they have Lucian Braum. You want to utilize that. You want to get the dragon. Kaisa and Bard are not as strong yet, and if you continue just farming, the
The
Lucian's
dragon's
gonna
started.
fall behind. Dragon has started. There's no vision from
Should
Xenon.
be safe, but there's a TP.
Oh, there's a
They're actually
TP coming
TPing in
Shen.
behind. Oh, and a great ulti.
That's gonna
You need to
delay them
finish
big
the
time.
dragon quick now. If you don't finish the dragon, yeah, the
Okay,
dragon's
Ornn's
gonna
coming
go
in.
down
This
here.
is gonna be a smite fight over here.
Oh
Ornn gets
no,
two.
no.
The Yi is sitting on Ornn. That's not really the pick
And
you
the
want to kill
damage from
first.
this
Mercury.
Shen-
They're gonna get 3 kills here.
Shen with a massive mistake, ulting in the middle of the team fight. No idea what Sicko was doing there. You cannot
Unfortunately-
ulti in the middle of the team fight when you're Shen. I know it's
Yeah.
tempting, but it's such a massive mistake. The shield is good, but not when you're in the team fight already. It's not worth doing that, and he just died standing still doing his ninja shit.
Another
Zen-
point is that Larry was sitting on the Ornn instead of like any of the carries. Like Joachim was just standing, being not hit by anyone. Shinny wasn't even in the fight, so that was so much easier for Xenon to win. But they just focused the Ornn instead of the Lucian, and they just couldn't kill anyone.
I agree. If you're Larry, right now, you need to realize you don't have your Rage Blade yet. You only have the finished jungle item, I believe it's called Blood Racer. So, at this point, you cannot kill the Ornn. You need to get on the backline. You need to get onto the squishies, or wait for the Rengar to jump in on your team and just completely decimate him alongside the rest of your team.
Yeah, Argon definitely threw away their lead there going for that Drake. And not to mention, they lost the fight and the Drake, so things
Yeah.
are not looking good. The Rengar's 3-0, so he can get some decent damage onto one of the squishies, perhaps.
Poor play there from Xenon.
But they've definitely dug themselves into a hole when they were on the high ground.
Oh, Joachim just catching the Malzahar E. Just gonna poke him out a little bit. Nothing, he can't heal up.
Yeah, the Vladimir sustain will help him massively now that he's behind. He has a 13 CS lead, which is really good for him as well.
Yeah, definitely.
And Shen and Yi here, this could be a 2-on-2 fight in the top lane. Rengar looks to be backing out. Yeah, he's definitely
Yeah,
scared Zen
smart.
away from that.
Smart. I feel like that's a mistake on Xenon's part. The Yi is so much stronger right now than the Rengar. I feel like you can definitely take that fight with the Shen W that blocks the auto attacks. So a little bit of a mistake there, I feel like, but not taking the risk could also be smart.
Yeah, I think both teams just saw it as too risky of a play to go in. And
I think Xenon doesn't want to lose more of their lead, and they're just playing more passively because they just lost 4 kills bot lane for no reason.
yeah, they just
wanna
need to let
just
this G
mention-
and Kai'Sa scale. And
Looking down
do
the
some work
board, if
later.
you look, 20 CS ahead in the top lane, Hendo. In the mid lane, 10 CS ahead, Joachim. Reigned is also 20 CS ahead of the Kai'Sa. The gold lead is really coming out just from the farm right now of Mercury. Otherwise, it would be pretty even.
Yeah.
Farming's
wanna-
definitely underrated.
You want to get this farm up, especially on the Kai'Sa. You need her for the late game.
As we were saying, the Bard isn't poking enough, and now they're hit the stage at which Braum is too tanky to actually be poked properly by Bard, and Lucian just can all in.
100%. And Hendo is continuously just laying down the combos onto Shen, and it's making Sig go really low here.
Yeah, Ornn can do disgusting damage in the top lane. It's
Oh.
normally quite hard playing against him. Nice shield there from Braum. Zen didn't get anything out of that.
See, if I'm Mercury here, I want to say, as Hendo, I communicate, okay, Shen's low, we can dive this guy. Like, bait out his W, make sure the auto attacks don't get blocked, and have Sheeny come up, and you can get the first turret as well.
Yeah, they should definitely play around top side right now. Well, it's fine. It's quite a safe lane as well. It doesn't look like Zen's paying too much attention to the bot lane overall. Mid's doing fine. It's not much action happening there. There's quite a lot of farming going on. So top's definitely where it should be.
Props to Sheeny as well. I mean, he had a really, really bad start to the game, but he's here and he's 3-0 and he's a presence on this Rengar now. He's definitely someone you're scared of if you are Xenon right now.
Yeah, the one dragon fight turned the game completely.
Fully. Massive mistake from Xenon, and if they end up losing this game, that's the play they're going to be looking at, like, why did we do that?
Yeah.
Herald coming out mid though, which means Sheeny needs to get down here quick. It's going to do so much damage to this turret, and I think
It looks to be full health, yeah.
Joachim might need to leave this. Actually,
Yo,
no, it's
everyone's
Green
looking
Cloud.
Top lane, and a bad flash from Yi there. He couldn't get over the wall.
Oh. Ornn as well,
the fight
but
doesn't stop, I
And
guess.
double knock
There's
from
no
the Ornn
follow-up.
ultimate.
There's no follow-up, no one's coming up.
Hendo's too far up here, but can they collapse on it?
Zico
goes low.
downs.
He gets knocked up.
Oh,
W doing
Being
such work.
ignited. She needs trying to get the last hit on.
Rain salty there, just
Axel.
hitting the entire minion wave. That could have done so much if it was hitting champions.
That was a
Unfortunately.
really close fight. That could have went either way.
Definitely. The Shen W tanked so much damage in that team fight. It was actually ridiculous.
For sure. That would have been a disastrous fight for Xenon. In the end, they lose one guy. It's not the end of the world. This turret is so low health. They're going to TP in to get it. I don't think it's worth the TP, but at least they're going to get first turret. It's going to bring them a little bit back into the game.
I'm
Yeah.
sure they could have taken the tower without the TP anyway.
Ooh, Echo almost making a massive mistake there. Jumping onto Joachim once the Bard Q was coming in, that could have stunned them both. That could have been a death to both of them.
Yeah, that was some
Gonna make
insane
it down.
damage coming through right there. Braum is lucky to get out of there alive. Now Zen
That was
is
very
really
close.
struggling on the sidelines, but at least they're going to get their strike, so they're getting something out of this.
Gonna get the Ocean Dragon. Not as valuable as the Infernal Dragons once we get to late game, but for now, the Ocean Dragon is still pretty useful. I mean, you're looking down again at the scoreboard, and there's just massive item differences, right? Ornn's gonna back here. I assume he's gonna finish his Frozen Fist. Yeah, there we go. I mean, the Lucian has the Blade of the Ruined King. Kai'Sa doesn't even have her Rage Blade yet.
Well, we
It's
have 400 gold
definitely-
difference on the ADCs alone.
Yeah. It's definitely a struggle so far.
Yeah.
Even Yi, after getting so far ahead, is now more or less even with the Rengar, which is insane. The 4-0 Rengar definitely making a difference for the team.
Yeah.
There's a 1k difference between the top laners.
Mercury, it seems like they're gonna get a free turret as well. That's it, they're gonna back out. They're not gonna take the risk, and
The
He's
bot
coming
he's
down.
coming
He's
down.
gonna get spotted from the control ward though. Will they go
Ackle
in?
needs to get out. He needs to get out fast, and he
Okay,
does.
they decide to back
And-
out.
Larry needs to remember the pink ward, clear it,
There's
Rengar
no
should have been
ulti from
spotted.
Bard,
clear the
so they
pink ward.
couldn't stop them.
There we go. Top lane,
Ornn looking to get some good damage from the Shen here. I can't
We're
see the
gonna
Shen
see
ever
this.
winning a trade.
we're gonna see this a lot during the game. We already have. It's just Ornn out damaging Shen over and over and over. Shen's gonna ulti onto Condemned Ezreal here. Rain's gonna take the turret. Shen's
Nice
low.
but
Rengar
he might
ulti
be
coming
getting
in.
there.
Silent Larry is going too far here.
Oh, and the
Oh
That's a really
my.
Bard ulti.
really good, and we got 2 knockups from the Ornn ult. They might be able to clean up all of them.
Xenon, what are you doing? Massive mistake from Larry there. You don't want to run
Shinny is unstoppable.
completely like a headless chicken into the entire team of Mercury. That's not how you play Master Yi, and that really cost him the fight there. Unfortunate.
We were criticizing the Rengar pick,
bit
but
too
so far,
aggressive.
5-0, he's doing really well. Like, going behind as Rengar must suck, but like if you can get 5-0 after being that far behind, that's impressive.
Yeah, he's definitely in
Definitely.
the right places at the right time.
Shini and Hendo looking really good here. Hendo definitely the silent hero here. He's really playing well. He's part of 7 kills. That's 1 more than Shini is, and like he's completely destroyed Shen up in the top lane. Great game on this one.
Definitely amazing. Okay.
And he does a good job of avoiding the Bard slow there.
Yeah, it doesn't get caught there.
Then you just look at the bottom side jungle for Zen, and it's just completely warded.
Yeah.
It's absolutely insane the amount of map control that Mercury has over them.
Xenon
Then
only
again-
has very little
What?
wards in general.
You look at top, and Xenon actually controls that side of the map. The thing is,
Yeah, they don't
you're
have
not
any in their
gonna-
own jungle though.
you're not gonna be pressuring Baron at this moment in the game, so it's useless to have the vision in the top side for now. But if it can stay, if they can hold it a few more minutes, maybe 5 more minutes, it does become relevant.
Yeah, and he's at Krugs at the moment, which is quite interesting. He needs to take an unconventional gank route to not get spotted.
Oh, he's gonna be spotted here. If Ackle gets the stun on him, the passive.
I think
No,
he
they're not
knows
gonna
about
go.
the big
Bard's
How are
on
they
his
not
way.
seeing this? Mercury's making a big mistake.
They never spotted him. But he backs out. That was a
They're
3v2.
gonna make it out. Shini's gonna go for a solo kill here. There's absolutely nothing Condemned Ezreal can do. And
Might be a
Darius
good
gonna be in
defense.
trouble as
Can't
well.
do much. And Yi is getting absolutely bursted.
Ooh, this is the wrong time to die if you're Xenon. Baron's coming up right now. Shini's obviously bottom.
Gold lead's definitely increasing a little bit here. Almost 6,000 gold.
They would definitely take the first tower top lane. There's nothing that can stop them for now. Like Mazahar's the mid lane to just clear, so
Rengar's
tower's
all
definitely
alone. They got pressure
Yeah.
on 2 lanes.
Xenon has no enough members right now that are alive that can actually pressure any lanes. So Rengar has a 3 lane bot lane, the top lane will fall. And this Malzahar rotates around, yeah, there we go.
The thing is, if you're Xenon, you have to look at what you're dealing with. You have to look at your champions. You say, okay, we have 2 champions who benefit so much off of Rage Blade. Let's just stay even early game. Make sure we don't fall too far behind. And once we get that Rage Blade in, then we can really start to team fight. And they just didn't have the patience to patience to pull this off. You know?
Happens. Yeah, definitely. They had a really good early game. They got the 2 first kills and then they just went downhill from that place.
Yeah, and the Rengar Yi 1v1.
Oh,
Oh, the flash. What was that
Shini.
about?
He
I
was
think
scared,
he was scared
of
of the Shen coming
Yeah.
in. Frozen Flow's gonna pick this up easy though. There we go.
That's the Shadow 7-1 ringer coming down.
Electrocute. Just doing so much damage.
But this is not the member that should be fed at this point. Like, I feel like Xenon doesn't know how to proceed from this point on. They're not taking fights, and if they do take fights, they're usually like member down or two. The vision is not there. The rotating is pretty slow. Just falling apart.
Yeah, I agree.
They do look a lot like very unorganized at the moment. And in terms of the Drake as well, it's just completely under Mercury control. They can almost take it whenever they want.
They also have two carries mid lane, which basically Thanos gold into no one. They're both sharing EXP, so they will both follow behind. It's not really smart play.
Yeah, I should just leave the Kai'Sa alone. Just try and let her gain a few levels. And it seems that Yi's going for the Drake. He's not been spotted. This might be sneaky.
He does sneak the dragon, and that's an Inferno that goes down.
That's even now between the two teams.
Rengar just 5-10 seconds late there.
Early QSS from Rain here as well. Scared of the Malzahar, doesn't want to get locked down.
Yeah, definitely.
The Shen taunt as well. Very, very bad if he gets caught by that.
We see a Nasher attempt. They saw Master Yi bot lane. She's clearing vision now. But Frozen might die. He gets out of the E and he's fine.
That was well played there from him. That was very easy to get caught out there.
The magical journey saving lives.
Ooh, starting Baron is not smart.
It's definitely risky in this situation.
Especially now that Yi is closer. Like, there was a good initiation by them. Like, Master Yi was bot lane, he could not team fight with them, and then the Nasher wasn't really the exact call they wanted. A rotation top lane to get the farm, maybe try to push, apply some pressure there. Could be better than that, but might have been interesting.
Right now, Mercury is letting Xenon get back into the game, I feel like. You need to make some more proactive plays here.
Lack of vision from Xenon's stopping them from getting this bottom tower as well.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That could have been a way back into the game. Get that outer turret. But like, you have this Rengar, he's so fed, he has the Dust Blade. He can one-shot anyone right now, this Rengar. And you want to utilize that, you want to be more aggressive.
Yeah, I feel like Mercury is playing way too passive at this point. They're so ahead, they should just either try to split push, they play 1v1, or just go all 5 top lane, but that's not really the best play.
You have to, you have the power spikes as well coming out from both Vladimir and Lucian, both hitting 2 items now. And they're so strong. Obviously, Rengar is there as well, Ornn is unstoppable, so tanky. So, Hendo though, he's getting this Warmox before he has 3000 HP. They need to get Malzahar here. They need to get Malzahar quick.
The Malzahar will go down soon. Oh. There we go. That's the Malzahar.
Shen will go down
as well.
That should be Baron.
Oh, the failed flash from Condemned Ezreal does not heal the target, and Shen dies.
Yeah, that's gonna be Baron here on Mercury. There we go. That's the aggressiveness we were looking for.
That's the engage we needed. Hendo coming up strong again.
I want to mention though, Hendo buying this Warmox before he has 3000 HP, that means that it's not going to give him the regen that we normally see from Warmox until he does hit that amount of HP. Obviously the item changed a while back.
Yeah, he's still only 200 HP away, so it's not that far off. Maybe a level.
Few more levels and he will have it.
Okay, they're able to get it safely, so quite a safe Baron there. Well played.
Yeah, just
that was pretty good.
Great call in general. But we also got to say, looking at it from the different perspective, Kadison, he needs to be with his team. He got caught out on the side there. Sicko on the Shen tried his best coming in with the ulti to try and help him. But, I mean, it wasn't good enough. And unfortunately, that's what that's the risk you take with the Shen ulti. You are risking your own life jumping into the fight like that, and he did go
Yeah,
down.
definitely. Also, worth mentioning the Ornn Endo has hit 3.2k health, so the Warmog is online.
Now the Warmox is online, yeah.
And the Rengar. Oh,
Shini's gonna make it out here. The thing is, can he
Well
turn
played.
it? If he jumps on Silent Larry is dead.
Larry's dead.
He is
That is
gone.
So much
Wow.
damage. The Ornn misses the ult back, so he will not knock out the Bard. The magical journey is not there, but he can still
Larry with
stun.
the tier 1 boots as well. He needs to upgrade that into Ninja Tabi. He needs to have done that a long time ago. Also, he has this thing that evolves into the Serrated Dirk, the Poacher's Dirk, I believe it's called.
Yep.
Which is not a great item. And
Yeah,
Atro's
it's
gonna
not
get
really
caught.
good.
oh, the
At
Braum
all.
overextending there.
But yeah, Poacher's Dirk, horrible item. It requires you to get in and counter jungle, and it's just taking a risk because he wasn't able to do that once the Rengar got ahead.
That was
Frozen Flow is
definitely
gonna go down. Too far
Frozen
up
goes
here.
down too far.
Yeah, Hendo
Sick
going
is
in the
gonna
game.
get out.
Hendo's
It's
just
turning
been
into a
really
clown
good
fiesta.
this game.
Yeah, I think that both teams have no idea what to do anymore. They just kind
Hendo
of
is just playing this
heads
all
down mid.
perfectly.
Definitely, yeah, the Ornn is really good.
Radon Lucian as well. I mean, I had my doubts in Champ Select, but I did say he is a pretty good Lucian. He's shown it here.
His CS is really well.
Controlled.
He's almost got 10 CS a minute.
Yeah, Mercury doing well, funneling CS into him. That's the right thing to do.
Definitely, definitely. It's worth mentioning, Lucian has 3,000 gold ahead, nearly 4. Insane difference on the bot lane. And it's mostly due to the farm, but it's also the fact that he's been in 12 out of the 16 kills, which is massive gold advantage against the guys who's only been in 1.
Yeah. Yeah, Xenon, a lot of their kills have come from like solo plays or duo plays. The Bard roamed around. Frozen Flow, definitely Xenon's best player so far in this game.
Definitely a
Yeah,
very
But
safe
look at a
dragon
free-
here as well. That's
free
2
Infernal.
drakes.
That's 2-1 now. And I mean, it's just gonna help Mercury with their damage. They should be able to end this very
It's
soon.
looking very bad for Xenon here. Plus they're almost on the verge of 9,000 down. So it's not the best situation for them. And you got Yi, who's stealing red buff, interestingly enough.
Yeah,
He's trying to get his serrated dirt to get
he
poachers.
wants the Serrated Dirk. He needs this.
Yeah.
Yep, there we go. Poacher's Dirk upgraded to Serrated Dirk. He got it now, but it's gonna cost him his life though. He's spotted on a ward. Oh,
Yeah,
he Arvid's
very risky.
Oh, but Ornn ulti shouldn't really be used there. Larry will
No.
live. Not sure if that was the right play.
Oh! Oof!
Larry, is
So
he going to be
close.
able to escape here?
Very
Bard's
close by
coming in.
Rain there.
Frozen will die. Zika will definitely die. Larry is dead as well. I think this might be the 2-tower stop lane, possibly.
Definitely an inhib at least, maybe even the entire game. I mean,
Bad mistake from Zen. They should have just let him die. They shouldn't have risked their lives there. Just try and get an objective somewhere else on the map. Like bot lane, for instance, is pushing for them. They may as well get a
the
tower.
Shen ulti wasn't needed. He still came in. He got caught out. It led to all the other guys getting caught out.
Frozen was trying to help. He missed the ulti. He couldn't do anything else. Couldn't run.
Joachim with the QSS as well. Smart boy.
Come down.
Shimmy,
Ezreal will
go
die.
ahead.
Definitely,
Kai'Sa
yeah.
just deleted. Can't do anything. The Braum, he's stanking.
Brom's gonna die here.
Aka will die.
And the heal, it didn't get him, I don't think. I think
I
it
don't
went to
think it
somebody
is,
else.
no. Yeah. Even if it did get to him, he had grievous wounds on him, so he would die anyway.
Yeah. There's a bit of a chance, I suppose, but I was 99% sure he would have died regardless.
Yeah.
Rain really stepping up in these team fights. The Lucian is so difficult to play. He keeps playing it perfectly. He's always in a safe position where he can deal the damage.
Yeah, the Essence Reaper is also working out for him really well. He got so many resets on his dash there.
Yeah.
To catch up the E and the Shen was really good.
I mean, the discussion is whether or not is Lucian actually a good champion with this new Essence Reaver. If you can get out your ultimate freely, so you start to just get these auto attacks, get these ability resets from the Essence Reaver, then sure, it's a great item. But if you can't get out an ulti without dying, because it is actually rather awkward on Lucian to ulti before the fight, then you're just gonna like have an Essence Reaver that doesn't really do anything because you haven't procced its passive.
Yeah, the passive part is really annoying to have to be after the ulti is used, which does hurt the Lucian a bit, but not very. But Larry tries to 1v1 the Vladimir.
Red Smite onto Joachim.
Silent, taking insane damage and that healing. Wow.
I mean,
Yeah,
Definitely underestimated himself there.
it's both underestimating Joachim, but it's also overestimating the Yi damage itself.
a little bit of tilt from Silent Larry. It looks
Maybe,
like
yeah.
he's
Yeah,
2-8. He
big
was
deaths.
2-0. Maybe a bit frustrated with how the game went.
It definitely is frustrating to be winning the game and then make a little bad play on Dragon and be so behind.
Shen dies before the Bard ult gets off. And Hendo,
Oh,
Hendo,
three-man
knock-up.
knock-up.
What does he do with the ultimate though? He misses the
misses.
ultimate.
The ultimate.
That's not a good
Condemned.
follow-up,
He's
Hendo.
gonna
What are
die.
you doing?
Condemnation
Hendo's
will
still going in.
die.
He's cheating.
Shinny might die.
Sheeny's gonna go down here.
He could get
He's
cat.
gonna
He's got
get
no
cat.
mana.
It's cat. Oh.
Wow.
I
well
think this
played.
is GG.
All of Mercury's players are so low though,
Yi,
and the Yi's
trying to
coming
clean
in.
up here.
but he
He's
doesn't
being
have
knocked
Caught by
ult.
Hendo. He gets stunned by the Braum Lucian and
Oh
he just
my.
fall down.
MangY not having his ulti up and Frozen Flow. How much can he do here?
I feel like not enough. He can't stop this
Hendo,
push.
he's going in. He doesn't care.
Hendo definitely doesn't like Frozen Flow. He wants to kill that guy.
Hendo goes pretty deep there.
Luckily, a minion wave stairs for him to just walk out. He should be safe.
And it seems that most of America is resetting now. This Yi
Ah, no,
definitely
sorry,
having
really
bad
bad.
luck.
It's not even bad luck. I feel like Mercury just plays the team fights really, really well. Trying to juggle the tower aggro and the knockups. The CC
You know-
lands where it needs to be landed.
Xenon's too far behind at this point. There's not much you can do.
It should just be Baron push game at this
You
point.
can't even get
The-
a pick with all these QSSs coming out. So Baron, run it down mid, end the game. Should be the plan here for Mercury.
Yeah, Zen is just too far behind to do anything.
Now
Or
we'll have
just-
a desperate team fight here.
And
Frozen
Frozen,
Flow's dead.
almost one shot
Frozen
from
is
Sheeney.
gone.
The Rengar ulti is used up though. He cannot use that one anymore. Hendo ults. He will
But
miss
he
the
missed
knockup.
knockup.
everybody.
Well, there's double knock up there.
But
Oh,
look
there's
at
a
Rank
double
here. His
knockup
position
by the
is
Braum.
perfect.
Rengar, just so
Yo,
much
that-
damage.
Over
Larry
and
there.
over again. The Lucian's just positioned perfectly. He's never in, like, there's never any doubt he's gonna survive. His scoreline reflects that. It's been a great show here by Mercury.
Definitely a really good game there. I feel like Akko is playing phenomenal on the Braum. He has the knockups on multiple people. The his shields are really good. He keeps the passive stacking on the Yi whenever he can.
Yeah. I mean, just the entirety of Mercury played really well.
Yeah, the entire team has been phenomenal.
Another QSS comes out and the game is going to end.
A very
Mercury's
convincing
going to
win.
take this one pretty comfortably.
Other than the early game, I can't really fault Mercury anywhere.
Not at all. The comeback was clean as well. Just staying cool, taking that dragon fight. They did it perfectly. I thought it was going to be the end of Mercury when that happened, but fully turned the game around. And I gotta say, straight off the bat, my MVP here is going to be Reigned. Perfect positioning every single time. Obviously, he had the strong front line in the Ornn, but like constantly dealing damage, moving around, dashing in the perfect positions. I think Rain just etches out Hendo and Akal to take the MVP vote, in my opinion.
I'd personally give it to Hendo. I think his engages were really well. He was solid in lane. And then he didn't die. I mean, yes, he was Ornn, but still, that's still pretty impressive.
Yeah, I feel like Rain does deserve the MVP just for his ability to play on a lane that was slightly not in his favor. The Kaisa did get the first assist, I believe, because Bart got a kill.
Yeah.
And just being able to go back from that to winning the game, as well as trying to stay in the right position, was really
So,
good. I
those
do feel
defense, yes,
Hendo...
as well.
Yeah. Hendo and Akko did play phenomenal there. Really good game overall by Mercury team.
Great game. Sheeny coming back from dying early as well. He wasted a lot of time top. He ended up getting a kill out of it anyway. He really used that kill to just take advantage, go in, just completely press off Silent Larry from his jungle, and from there on it was just GG really.
Definitely, yeah.
So Mercury 1-0, Xenon 1-1. So, do you think Mercury will be able to 2-0 based on that performance?
I mean, Mercury, obviously, their first game was supposed to be against Radon. It's obviously postponed. But once that game is played, we're yet to see how Radon plays. We won't get to see them this week. So it's hard to say. Judging off this game, Mercury could beat anyone. But it's hard to say because we haven't seen Radon yet.
I would say that Mercury needs to work on their early game. I feel like they really struggled, like very, very early on. The ego ahead, the bot lane died. They overestimating the damage. I feel they might underestimate their enemies as well a little, but they need to work on that as well.
Yeah, sounds good. Anyway, we're going to cut to a quick break, and all of us, even Wallter, will be joining us for Game 3. Stay tuned.
Woo!
There we go. And we're back, everyone. And today we're going to be spectating our third.
Argon. This is gonna be interesting. I've not seen either of the teams actually play, and I only know
Oh.
one player from either of the teams. So
This is
I don't think.
Osmium's first official game. They won the first by default, so no idea how good they are.
No idea about Argon as well. A lot of subs on that team. I don't know. We could be in for a bloodbath here, or we could be in for a complete and utter demolition.
Or a good old farm fiesta, like the NALCS, man.
We're into champ
Eh.
selected teams.
There we go. I wonder
So-
what the bans will be.
No idea actually. Obviously, a lot of these players completely unknown to us. And the teams as well, we haven't seen them at all. Mundo's gonna come in. I feel like it's a pretty standard ban, maybe.
Yeah, standard, really good top laner, really hard to kill.
After the Mundo plays we saw earlier, it doesn't surprise me. Aurelio, just such an amazing flex pick. Quite an obvious ban. And this pick ban phase is going super fast.
They're either really prepared or they aren't prepared at all. Then they're just banning whatever is strong right now.
Yeah, this meta is like super weird. Like as a spectator, it's amazing to watch, but as a player, I just don't like it.
Nah.
So
Yeah,
it's
it's
weird.
too unpredictable.
It's almost
You
like
see like a Vladimir being pegged and he's played bot lane while like a fucking Lucian's played mid. It's weird. It's not really fun to play. We see a Fiddlesticks ban, which is interesting.
he is quite a strong support at the moment. We did see you
Yeah.
play it in the tested stream a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, but that was unfortunately a horrible performance. Wallter really
Yeah.
disappointing me there.
My Fiddlestick is
I
not the best.
personally
I
threw him off the
apologize.
super team.
Yeah, I was kicked right after the game. I had to climb my way up again.
Rest in
Yeah.
peace, Wallter.
Felt bad.
Unlucky.
Yeah.
No, but brand ban as well. Some decent bans. The only one you can sort of talk about is maybe the Morgana. It's not that usual, but Vladimir's
we see the
coming.
Kaisa for Hush, possibly.
Ooh, Hush's Kaisa. Absolutely horrible.
Yeah, he's pretty bad at the game, but you know.
So,
Ooh,
Osmium already 2-0.
Let's not bring him down too much. He does have his time, like where he actually plays properly.
Yeah, here and there. Once every 10th game.
Yeah.
Hush-
It
Hush
is rare, but it happens.
Yeah, it's very rare. No, but in all seriousness, Kaisa, Jax, two strong champions. The Jax can be flex picked. Kaisa even can be flex picked. We've seen it mid a couple of times in the LCS.
We could
Van
see
Meer
jungle
strong.
as well.
Bunch of flex picks. Ready
Mm.
game. Ready
maybe
game.
top some has Shinshin, man. Like
Exactly.
Yeah,
Who
yeah.
knows? Who knows?
Conqueror, great rune for Jax. Really made him a very, very strong champion, especially when it comes to split pushing.
yeah, Osmium playing the mind games. Are they waiting until the last second? Oh, the
Oi!
grenades. Very good jungler at the moment. Insane damage. What more can you ask for?
Yeah, he works really well mid game as well, which is usually where the game is decided mostly. So it's a really good pick. I like the Vladimir as well. He's extremely strong this patch.
Shen as well. Saw pretty mediocre Shen performance from Sicko last game, but who's to say that Osmium can't pull out a better Shen here? Nami as well.
I don't like the Nami pick. I would much more prefer a Brawl, maybe a Trash.
Oh yeah, I knew you'd say that, Wallter.
Nami with Kaisa is something I'm not too sure about. I don't like your Thresh idea, but I do like your Braum idea. But it all depends on what you're comfortable on. I mean, Argon has a lot of substitutes for this game, and I think when it comes to playing with substitutes, you want to make sure they just get on a champion they know they can play, and really just make them feel comfortable.
Yeah, and we're getting the Z ban. That's quite interesting.
Yeah,
Though,
it's
I can't
very
say I know
interesting.
Argon well, so maybe one of their players plays a mean Z.
perhaps. I mean,
I
unfortunately,
don't
we
see
don't know
them
much.
like killing anyone though, like 1v1 or just bursting anyone. Because Graves is pretty tanky. Vladimir is just not gonna die to Zed. Shen is also really hard to kill,
Yeah, I think
unless they're scared of their bot lane being targeted more.
Zoe ban is fine. Set ban is a bit weird. Diana
the
coming
Lucian
to
Braum?
bot is-
Diana.
Diana's-
That's interesting. I think that's the first time she's ever been picked in the.
and
LGS.
Lulu. So what's the ADC going to be, or is the ADC already picked here? Because
They could play Lulu mid and go Shen support. Who knows? I mean, there's quite a lot of
Lulu
flex between these
Yasuo,
champions.
perhaps. A lot of different things being hovered here. It looks like it's gonna be the Yasuo. I do believe it's gonna be Yasuo in the end.
I like the Talon, and it's the Cassiopeia.
So is Vlad bot, most likely.
It is the Vladimir bot lane with a low
Probably.
support, I guess.
Yeah,
Might be really hard to kill. We've got the orange
you'd guess
top
so.
lane.
Cassiopeia, great into Diana, and we're gonna see another Ornn. It's gonna be the third Ornn we see today.
Well, Ornn is Ornn, I suppose. You just can't kill the guy. He's just too tanky.
I do believe. Have we seen Shen versus Ornn in all the games?
It looks familiar.
We definitely saw it last game, but I already
No, there's
forgot
one
about
window
the first
game. There's a Mundo game.
Yes. Andy
Oh yeah,
did play
that was
Mundo.
Mundo and Orin. Correct.
So it is 2 Shanes. I want Mundo. 3 Urns.
So very popular at the moment.
Was Vladimir picked in the first game?
I believe he was banned in the first game, but I might be.
Mid lane we had a
smartest.
Casio brand.
Yeah.
And bot lane I don't recall seeing a Vladimir there.
I do think Vladimir was banned. So we had 2 Vladimir games, 1 ban. Interesting.
And here we go with the 3-minute delay. Woo! Let's
Nothing
go.
beats it. You've got the minute to wait for them to put their summoner spells and their runes.
These 3 minutes are what I'm most hyped about every single time we go into one of these games. Just absolutely the best sitting here for 3 minutes, looking at 10 different champions and just trying to figure out which champion can counter which champion. It's the best.
Ornn counters all there.
Yeah. Well, now we have 2.5 minutes of nothing.
Nah, the,
Ornn has 100% win rate today from the streamed games.
that's true.
Yeah, that's actually true. Shown off to be that good pick that everybody knows.
It's unlucky because Hash is playing, so, you know, his team might lose.
Yeah, obviously Hush probably one of the worst players on the server. Yamura would have been a much better choice for Argon here. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to be here. We know Hush from previous splits. He's always been just utter trash. So probably going to be an easy win for Osmium here. They had the better team comp as well. So I mean, Cassiopeia should have an easy time into Diana. The Jax versus Graves. I mean, if the Jax gets onto Graves, he does beat him, but I think it's still pretty hard. Like, it's hard to contest the early game, really. If Graves wants your jungle, you just sort of have to let it go. Nami Kaisa, we discussed that already. Nami, I don't think she fits too well with the Kaisa. I think Lulu Vladimir could be a lot more annoying to deal with.
Even the Taric could come out as well. I feel like.
True.
Especially with the Jax and Diana, just keep them alive as well. It's just perfect.
So much juicy plays.
I
Exactly.
mean, one thing I'm noticing here is Nami does have Ignite, so they are expecting to get some kills onto Lulu and Vladimir.
Yeah.
I think that's
It's going to be
that's-
so hard when it hits level 6. You have the Lulu ult, then you got the Shen ult.
definitely. You have, yeah, as you say, you have the Shen ult, Vladimir can pool. Lulu has shield, she has ult, she has exhaust. I don't think there's kill potential on the bot lane, so hopefully the Ignite is going to be put to use elsewhere. But otherwise, I would have liked to see an exhaust perhaps instead.
The Exhaust would also be pretty good against the Cassiopeia. The damage she deals is insane, and the Exhaust will definitely lower her by a lot, simply because the amount of ease she will throw out with the Exhaust is actually like around 4, maybe 6.
Yeah.
And all of them are reduced, so the teamfight damage will be much, much lower.
Have Thallium as the only 2-0 team. Osmium, they could possibly do it too. Looking at the team, who do you prefer? Like, champion-wise.
I definitely prefer Osmium, just because of the Diana, Nami, Jax. I mean, those are not bad champions when in the right hands, but simply just because we don't really know that much about these two teams. We don't really know if they are in the right hands, and Osmium, the whole team comp they have is very meta. All the champions are pretty strong. So I see them having the advantage when it comes to team comps.
Definitely. I also think that Osmium is much, much harder to kill, simply due to the amount of like shields. The Lulu with the exhaust will also lower the damage with the Kaisa if she's fed. Diana cannot dive in that easily. She'll get polymorphed, exhausted. The Cassiopeia W will stop Diana completely. I just feel Osmium has so much more potential to stop the Argon from actually going in.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, Cassiopeia also stops Ornn's ulti, so the knockout will be stopped. Just a lot of different things that can happen.
So here we go for the last game of the night.
Level 1 again. I think we have a pretty decent level 1 when it comes to Osmium, but I mean, if you're Argon, I think you just want to stay cool.
To be honest, I think Argon has much better level 1. Like Shen, it doesn't really provide that much level 1. The Vladimir Q doesn't do enough when it's not stacked.
Perhaps.
Yeah, Vladimir, he
But-
might be face checking this.
Oh yeah, this is bad. This is so
And
bad.
he's walked right into it.
Virtually
And Hush gets the kill, so I mean, memes aside, Hush getting that kill is great, and just what Argon wanted, because Hush is obviously actually one of the better players on the server, even though I don't want to say it. And
Yeah, unlucky.
yeah, I mean, if we're real, he is one of the better players on the server. He is a guy who can really carry. He goes back, he gets the dagger, he gets a health pot or two, and I mean, he's going to be looking to really trade now, and now the Ignite of Nami could really come into effect. It is also
Definitely.
worth noticing that the Vladimir did not flash and he did not use Ghost, which is very important because he might need that now. If he had flashed there, it could have been a complete disaster in the bot lane.
Yeah, they could just like basically camp him, get Hush super ahead,
Yeah.
then it could be GG.
So keeping the flash is smart, coming out of Morgank. And
Definitely smart, but it's not really like that shouldn't happen in the first place.
agree. But I mean, once you get into the situation, not panicking, realizing you're dead, is really well played.
Yeah, definitely. Now they just want to fall back, not let them scale harder. Just get Vladimir going, get some farm. Okay, so the Jax finishes his blue, goes to the wolves, straight to the full clear.
Yeah,
Graves
he's
skips
just gonna farm.
chickens.
Yeah,
Just
maybe
interesting.
looking for a top gank early, considering how
Possibly.
dominant we've seen Ornn.
Chicken's
two
pretty
games.
difficult to do on Graves early, honestly. Especially when you start Hunter's Machete, you don't get the burn onto the chickens from attacking them, and
Okay,
Oh, then
Diana's
Diana-
rotating first.
they're gonna... Nah, this is a poor position for the Ornn to be in. Diana and Ornn can't do anything, and the Shen, if he has taunt... yeah,
That's a
it's-
perfect W from the Cassiopeia. Yeah, it stops the orange flash, he cannot do anything, he has to keep running. The taunt hits, he cannot run away. Very
Yeah,
well
really
played.
well executed. That could have went really bad for Osmium had they not reacted quick, but they turned the tables.
Exactly. The Graves
Definitely.
also gets the Scatho. The orange has to TP to lane to actually not lose too much CS, which means the Shen is able to just roam around for now. Might see a gank coming mid lane. Graves is in the bush waiting. Will be possibly spotted by Ward? No?
Doesn't seem like it.
Yeah, Diana just checks the bushes to see if they're awarded. Jax gets the red buff. Then Graves will recall.
So, bot lane here, Hush missing a CS. Now we know him again.
Yeah.
Can he get all these three? Yes.
Unlucky.
Not much happening really, just people
Pretty team
farming.
overall, yeah.
Even after dying, the Arn is still very, pushed up.
Staying smart. Yeah. Diana's actually quite confident against this Cassiopeia, but she's not really getting punished. Actually, she's doing the punishing, it looks like.
Yeah.
Very
Which I
interesting.
wouldn't really expect that coming out from Diana against Cassiopeia. You'd think Cassiopeia had the advantage on that one.
Especially
Ooh,
with the
Diana's
range.
in trouble here. Oh,
She's
Graves
safe.
wasn't able to hit everything.
Graves without red buff doesn't really do anything. It's too
Yeah,
hard
there's
to
no
gank with it.
CC. He doesn't have a slow. The W is like very situational. You don't really want to use it too quick.
Yeah, should have
Exactly.
definitely hoped for a flash, and he never even got that, so it wasn't too much from that gank.
And
There's
Lord
just farm.
Nathan is dealing a little bit better with Yorn than we saw Sicko last game do.
Definitely, yeah. He's not getting aspoked. The early kill does help as well. He's got the EXP advantage, some gold.
Yeah.
Much healthier lane, I guess, for the Shen. Bot lane advantage isn't really used. The Jax isn't looking for any early ganks. It's a good thing, because considering the Lulu Vladimir is really hard to kill, but they really need to start thinking of doing either pushing them off and doing the dragon, or possibly trying to commit or top lane instead.
Yeah. Perhaps you want to go in level 6 here if you're the Kaisa and the Nami. Get the wave down.
They might collapse
Maybe-
with the Graves.
Call down Jax. Yeah, Graves is in trouble here. He needs to run out. He's gonna run out.
Yeah.
No problem.
He takes the scattle, so he has the vision of them too. There was a ward in the river, which does help them a lot.
Yeah.
Cassiopeia playing a really aggressive there.
This is a surprisingly calm early game considering what we've seen so far today.
Definitely, yeah.
Ornn getting some really good trades in.
Yeah, we see again Ornn into Shen. Good matchup. Fine purpose. Doing well there. Kier, as he's known.
Diana's going in. Gotta be
Lulu
careful.
is
Cassio's
kind
on-
of- Lulu
Lulu's
isn't
in a
even
bad
the best
position
choice,
there.
yeah.
Yeah, just trying to get some vision, but it's definitely risky without support.
And Jax being in Graves' jungle is not something I really agree with, honestly.
Especially after we saw how quickly they rotated before.
Mid being
That would be
pushed
really
in as
good.
well. Cassiopeia can easily just react and get there and help the Graves.
Exactly. We see the Ornn recall to reset his HP. He will go back to lane, full mana, full HP, gets a vision control
Level
word,
6
sorry.
as well. Teleport coming up soon.
We might see some plays coming up. Shen
He'll
uses
be
his
up once
TP,
bot lane.
and yeah, Shen used the TP, so he cannot really leave the lane properly. He can ulti, but he will not
Yeah.
get back on time.
Oh, here we go.
This-
That's the punish I was looking for. He
Ooh.
flashes.
Cassio just unable to get it there.
Little bit of a mistake. I think he thought his Q landed, his second Q there onto Diana, but it just didn't. And obviously the E barely does any damage if you don't have the poison running.
Yeah, unfortunate. At least the trade flashes, and it's not only Cassio that flashes, so it's still not that bad of a trade.
Ornn Shen, same as last game. It's going to be a bit boring to watch, but once we get into team fighting, it's going to be interesting to see what these two guys can do.
Hash is getting a bit poked, and Nami he will reset him to more or less half full HP. Yeah, bot lane is not gonna see any fights either, I don't think.
They're both pretty safe lanes overall.
Yeah,
With the Nami
Yeah.
healing, then Lulu and Vlad just
exactly.
use shields and
You
healing.
can see that by just the fact that neither of the bot lanes has backed yet. But
It's
we're
a
going to see an
good
engage here.
fight on top lane.
He's still got his flash.
Jax is not level 6 yet, though.
I feel like he didn't need to flash. He had the Graves coming in, and he just leave by walking. But
Could have baited them in there a bit more.
yeah,
Jax ganking pre-level 6 is difficult. Here comes the wave I was talking about. And
Oh, and
Bobble
get
is going to catch
everything.
out Lulu.
but the exhaust comes out. Hash cannot finish the kill,
And
but then we have
Diana's
the
gonna-
Diana.
This is a
coming in.
great play by Argon. This is so
Diana.
smart.
Very nice.
This is what they needed.
knew. They knew they were going to do that. They stayed healthy. They stayed safe. They knew once they hit level 6, they could go aggressive. And Hush is going to have a lot of gold to use once he gets back here.
That was really good
Actually, has
burst overall.
2.5k at this point.
Now he
Osmium will
bubbles
take
straight
half
into-
tower mid, which is also insane.
Yeah,
Really need it.
some of the
But they're
synergy from
collapsing
bot
here.
lane.
Sotra Ninja and Lucis improved. Definitely need to get out here.
Oh,
Shen's gonna
Graves
come in,
a lot
but
of
is it
trouble
in
here.
time? Yeah, it is.
Shen and
Oh.
Cassio doing really.
And the Cassio
Wow.
gets on.
Oh,
Oh,
That's
oh
gonna be a
my
triple.
gosh.
Gonna get a triple kill.
But Ornn,
And is she gonna pay for it?
oh,
And
she
he
escapes. Oh,
Very well played.
That is trouble if you are Argon. That's not good. Everything they just got in the bot lane is completely turned around in the mid lane.
They will
I
try
think
to
you want
get
to
a
go.
pick.
You want to go on to Vladimir.
Nice pull there from Vlad.
You
If
wanna
he got
kill him
caught,
here.
he was dead.
But if Polymorph comes out, he cannot finish the kill. Ash shot.
Nami stayed a
After
bit too
back.
far behind there. Maybe
yes.
miscommunication. Hush not really telling the Nami how he wanted to go aggro. I mean, the Vladimir hasn't backed yet, so if you can push in this wave, Hush is gonna have a pretty big lead.
Has to go to
Definitely.
lane, man. That's the way to go.
We saw the ping from Argon onto Dragon. They might be trying to get Jack spot lane now, while the Vladimir's not here, but he's on the other side of the map.
I think it's smart. No vision as well from Osmium, so should be it. Should be just free dragons.
But
Not
the
the best
Yana
dragon,
damage.
Oh
Castle
my.
doing insane
Oh,
damage.
what
What
an
an
ulti!
Ultimate.
Ooh.
We might have a scripture on our hands, boys. What a play.
Is this Simos?
That was phenomenal. No, Simos injured. It's not Simos.
Fire clicks too.
He never had his bot activated.
That's why.
Yeah. Oh,
Argon with the
Nami.
nearly
Vladimir going
gets
in.
him down.
Vladimir used his flash and his pull now.
Oh,
Jack,
the
triple
Oh!
stud! Oh my god. Hush is going in.
Orn.
And now we've
Phenomenal
got
play.
Orn.
Orn's in behind. Hush is getting all the kills here. This is what you want.
Oh my god.
Jack's picking up one. This is phenomenal.
That
What
a dragon.
was perfect. You cannot
Might
fault
take
that
the
play.
That was very good.
Yeah, definitely. You can get the dragon here. You can get the turret as well.
Yeah, definitely. But Cassia will apply pressure mid lane, nearly
She
taking the
shouldn't
tower.
be able to get it. The minion wave is dying. Oh my.
That was a
Hush
juicy
is
stun
not
from
gonna
Jax.
go for the turret. Yeah.
That was a
incredible.
perfect turnaround.
TP in behind. I mentioned it before. The TP was coming up. Orn was level 6, obviously. He's been for a while now. Comes in, uses the ult. Perfect TP. Great call overall. Diana going in onto Cassiopeia.
Another
though.
fight on mid. Jack's coming in clutch to
Oh,
save the
yeah.
Diana and
He's
might
gonna
die.
die.
He's gonna die, but he saves the Diana.
Argon is underestimating this Cassiopeia. Lucid's improved. Definitely playing really, really well. And he's level 10 now. Like, when do you realize that you can't do that? You can't just go in one by one onto this Cassiopeia because she will beat you.
They will get the first tower and possibly die to Diana. There's the first tower coming in for Osmium. Even after that horrible disaster on bot lane, they still managed to get the first tower. They might have lost the Wind Dragon, but it's not that much of a problem.
Yeah, some intense trading going on top here. Orn comes out on top. No surprise
yeah.
there considering the matchup we've seen so far.
Yeah, constantly, all day, Orn has just come out on top on these trades against each other.
However, Ornn is still behind in gold by 300, which is interesting.
Yeah, I mean, the entire fucking lead onto Argon, at least, is coming from Hush. I mean, everything else is just all the other lanes.
Really getting
We'll
bursted.
get the Lulu. The Nami ulti will not land, and Vladimir just built to safety.
But I mean, the thing is, they might be 2k up here, but as long as you just keep this Cassiopeia under control, you're smart about it. Speaking of that,
he was predicting the flash and
this is not smart. Again,
Judge Diana in trouble. Oh my god.
Well,
they are gonna
that
get the
defense
shutdown
is-
goal,
should
so
be able
so
to get
far
the
it's
Shen.
worth.
The Shen will
Jax
should
has
be,
his
hard
Conqueror
pressed
up
to
now,
escape.
doing true damage.
And he's going down. The Jax is double
That
kill.
was well played
Bot
there.
lane,
And
however,
Graves
one more.
gets the Nami. Wow. It was quite quiet at the beginning of the game and now this happens.
Yeah, Argon, I still feel like, even though that play worked out, you gotta be smarter about the way you handle this Cassiopeia. Because right now, there's two people who can carry this game. There's one on each side, and you have Hush, and you have Lucis improve. And if you're
Yeah.
Argon, you really want to just stay cool, and just make sure you don't feed this Cassiopeia anymore, because you want this Diana to be a factor. You want your AP damage from the Diana to be there once we get to the team fighting phase, and right now Diana is running in and dying and dying and dying, and she's 3k gold behind the Cassiopeia right now.
I think they underestimate the Cassiopeia damage and the importance of the miasma being thrown out. Like, the Ornn does knock the Cassiopeia, but it doesn't really matter if Diana cannot do anything to join in the fight, simply due to the fact that W is there. The Jax will be stopped from taking the blue buff.
He's in a lot
Like
of
the Cassiopeia
trouble.
coming in, he might die.
this goes to Castle,
Flash.
then yeah,
Goes down by
Raquel's gone.
dice.
7-1.
Once again, it's just pure disrespect of the fact that this Cassiopeia is so fed. She's so fed, and Sir Farge Blonde and Mod Lol is not respecting it.
Yeah,
At all.
he's down a lot of CS as well, like over 50 CS down. It's gonna take a while for him to get back in the game.
Definitely. She also gets the more gold from Jax, considering he just got 2 kills mid lane instead of the less gold when he was 1-3. So overall, she just gets so much gold just by killing the people that are fed, basically.
Yeah,
Graves might die to Diana, but he will back to safety.
this
Diana's
is so
going for
important
this.
for Diana. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
well
she
played.
needs to get out now because Lucid's Improve is coming.
You
Walking up towards the Jax here, that's smart. You don't want to walk back that way. That was risky. Taking
Yeah.
that board, that was risky.
You don't want to mess with 7-1 Cassio. You're just gonna die in like 3 or 4 E's if she gets her
Yeah.
poison off on you.
Bot lane and top lane are trying to poke each other, but it's not really working now for either of the
Either.
teams.
Yeah. Here we go. This is the coordinated play I was
Castle.
talking about. Dodge the ulti.
Shen-
Neither
Oh.
of them dodged the ulti. That's horrible, but they're still gonna get it. And that's what I was talking about. If you coordinate this, if you don't do it so that you're walking in one by one, but you walk in together, the Cassiopeia won't be able to outplay you because she has so much single target damage, but she doesn't have as much AoE damage.
He
She
might
did
have
not
got
have
away with it
to
if
keep
Shen got his
once.
ult in, but it's only just coming up now. Even then,
Could have
it's
been much
quite a risky
better
play.
played anyway. They both get hit by the Cassiopeia ulti, which could be easily dodged. All they had to do was not come into the one more auto attack.
Oh, if Fargeblind walks into Lulu here, Fargeblind is yeah, he walked the wrong direction for a bit there, but he's getting back into it now. He's gonna get Lulu.
Lulu goes
Actually,
down.
if I was Argon there, I would have let the Shen walk through or come through and just kill him as well.
The Herald was placed there before by the Jax. No one
Yeah.
responded to
Wonderful
it.
use of Herald. Absolutely
amazing.
beautiful. Great play. Jack's getting Hexdrinker his second here after the Cinderhawk. Pretty smart, honestly. Helps him deal with the Vladimir and the Cassiopeia as well. And especially the Cassiopeia, you want to shut her down now, and a way to do it is actually building like this. I actually really like it.
Yeah, definitely. It's really important for him to be able to actually live through some of the damage.
Yeah, it definitely helps when he wants to gank that Cassiopeia. As said, like the Mercury Treads, the Hex Drinker, it all helps, and obviously Cinderhawks makes him very tanky already. So
Exactly. He will not get one shot by Cassio like before. It only took him, what, 2 or 3 E's to take Jax really low after gank, and this definitely helps, especially with his ulti being
yeah,
tuned
Jack's
on.
ulti as well gives a lot of stats, and now he's gonna go towards the more aggressive route. The Sheen's gonna come in, and I mean, Lucid's improve. He's ahead, fine, it's all good. But if he gets cocky now and he keeps getting caught out by the Diana and the Jax, he's gonna be in trouble.
Definitely. It doesn't also help that his team is behind while he's ahead, because he will not be able to deal with everyone on the enemy team. He needs to start roaming to try to get some advantage somewhere else as well.
Yeah. Also, it's just a focus for the target as well. Like Ornn, everybody, they'll all be jumping right onto the Cassio. They won't care about anybody else in the team.
Look at Diana here. This is so smart. Modlol going in.
Should
The
be able to get
Vladimir
this
is
kill.
not gonna be able to turn this in time. Great usage of Ignite. Everything's just perfectly played there. Great play by Diana.
It's a really rough game for Osmium's bot lane. 0-8 in total. It's just not been their day.
No, it must suck, especially like mentally knowing that you're dragging your team down. The rest of the team's performing really well, and I mean, these things happen. You're gonna have bad games, and hopefully they can just pull through.
Yeah, the strong mental has to come through.
Great honor ulti, just to disengage, save himself there. So
Stops him from diving as well.
Hush lands the W, but doesn't want to go in, obviously. Mudlol actually got onto the inhibitor turn. Oh
And
my god.
Wow.
Well,
Well,
that is
almost one
Disgusting
shot.
damage. He goes back in.
He will get him. Lulu flashes to try to save him, but it was not in range.
Where was this during the lane phase? Beautiful play by ModLol, and does he manage to get out?
Lulu's
Lulu
chasing.
obviously has the speed up, but with the damage that ModLol just showed before, Lulu needs to be careful. She doesn't get one shot.
Definitely, yeah.
And
I
she's
think he was
gonna
trying
stop
to
chasing
save.
as well.
Yeah, I think he was trying to save the W for the actual polymorph when Diana goes back in. More than anything. Yeah, now Osmium has to pick themselves up.
Yeah, definitely. Ooh. Yeah, last few minutes, Argon definitely running away with it. So, Baron's up. Lucid's improved. Hush. I don't think he knew that he was there, but he got the dodge. He
Hush
goes
and
back
Diana
in. Nothing's
front
gonna
line.
happen.
Diana going in. That
Diana
might have been a big
underestimating the
mistake there.
tankiness of Graves.
Nice bubble from
Navi
Navi.
bubble will stop them from chasing us there.
I think
That's
if you're Argon, if you are the Jax, if you are the Diana, you want to get onto Vladimir, you want to get onto Lulu every single time. Sure, they don't have massive shutdown gold, but it's still two people that you can get off the map, and they're very easy to kill since they're so far behind right now.
There might be a
Oh
dive.
no, he gets two
Here we
of
go.
them.
The Lulu.
There we go. The Lulu
Oh.
goes down.
Graves.
That's just so
Vladimir,
clean
let the Shen
from
come in.
Argon.
Exactly.
Ooh.
Freeman almost up to full health again though.
No, but it's beautifully played by Argon. They let the
No
Shen
one will
come
get out.
through the
And
teleport.
everybody survives. Wow. The
Perfect
heals from
dive.
Nami saves
Lucid's
the Ornn.
improve was not in that fight, and Osmium communication, they're a new team. They've just been put together. It doesn't look like they really know each other yet.
As expected, they were formed yesterday, so you can't be expecting like miracles out of them. They're not doing too bad. They're only 4,000
Great
behind.
performance. I mean,
They did have a
What-
really good early game, in my opinion.
yeah, from what we see here, they definitely have a player in Lucid's improve who they can definitely rely on to carry them through some games, and I think a strategy could definitely be to just play around him in the future. He seems to be a great player. The entire top side has actually done really decent this game, and I mean, it's no shame losing to Hush. He's a good player. I don't know Suffragette, but definitely Hush, great player, one of the better ADCs, or whatever you want to call that role at the moment. So,
Yeah.
Oh, good pop.
It's not really
Oh,
an ADC.
straight into
Still
the
Lulu.
Kai'Sa E.
Lulu's getting caught, but on the top side, Jax is going to be able to trade this, I believe, but he's going to go down.
Yeah,
Well, or can
unfortunately,
he jump
Cassio
onto-
cannot live.
No.
That's a really good trade, actually. I mean, that forced 3 members up top, and now
Yeah,
mid's almost
They can
free.
push mid here.
Vladimir is not strong enough to actually compete against this, so this is free tower, at least one. They will have to wait for them to recall from the top side, and Ornn will basically have a free bot lane to push up to the tower. They might try to threaten Nashor now, push the top side,
Yeah,
and get an advantage that way, yeah.
get the farm top while you walk through. Just try and get the vision, or don't get the farm top and don't walk through and get any vision. That's also good.
That's also a play, I
Yeah.
guess.
Big fan of letting all the minions die top lane. No, but memes aside, obviously Hush and Suffragette, they just want to go back, use the gold they got from getting the turret and getting those kills, and just continue building on this lead.
Yeah, he looks to be going into a death cap. I believe
Yeah,
the
the
recipe has changed to
EP
double
heavy
rods
build
now.
here.
It's
Yeah.
also worth noting that Osmium has much more control words.
Yeah.
We see 2 on the Ornn, but that's basically it for Argon. I feel like they need much more vision. It might be the
agree.
fact that they're winning, that they're not buying vision anymore. They're trying to just focus on the items to kill the snowball, but I do think the vision is much more important.
A lot of people from Argon obviously have a lot of components for items right now, which means there's not really any clear space in the inventory to buy those pink wards.
Oh my god, that damage
Lulu
on
nearly
Lulu.
dies.
Yeah. Dark Thresh, or Drunk Thresh, sorry, here. It's not really having his best game. 0-6, doesn't even have an assist to his name. It's not been the best for him as a Lulu. Not having an assist at this point in the game. His team has 11 kills. It's not looking too good.
most of the kills were in mid lane anyway, which Lulu doesn't really have that
Yeah, a
easy
bunch of
a
solo kills
point
coming out. Oh.
And also, they were usually pushed into their own tower, so she could not even rotate or roam around and try to help other lanes.
Modlo is pushing down in the bot side, and I mean, Osmium, they need to send someone to deal with this, and I bet you that Hush is making this plan right now. He says, okay, Modlo, you can push bottom, keep pushing, and once people go down there to react to you, we're just going to do the Baron.
No one is reacting to the Diana. She just takes the tower for free. Maybe in a division is taken.
And now Osmium is making the mistake of sending too many people
Lulu's
down
gonna
to
get caught
Diana.
here.
Lulu's gonna be caught.
Lulu's caught. This is going to be Baron. If she goes down, Argon
gonna
can
be a
spot
free
this
dash.
Baron.
There's a Freeman bot lane and a Graves mid lane. They cannot really respond to this.
Kaisa kills it so fast, especially with Ajax as well.
The Diana goes into
Oh,
on the
beautifully
caster.
played by Modlo, but he needs to get out here.
Diana dodges the ult. Well played.
Oh,
Going
if
in
he
on
can
the
trade
Cassio.
this, the Ignite is down. She's gonna die, I think.
He will die to the minions.
Oh my god.
Shed will die as well.
Modlo completely
Diana.
saying, you know what? You might have
Also,
solo
with
killed
the
me 10
double
times
kill.
in the early game, but
Wow.
That's the devil.
I think
wow,
this should be game.
Modlo. Definitely, maybe some lane phase problems there for Modlo, something he needs to work on, but holy moly, is he a wonderful player when he gets to just split push it, get into that side lane.
Oh my god!
That
He
it's
disappears.
No.
from
it's not
that.
okay.
He has 10 stacks on the
Riot
seal.
Games. Riot Games, fix your shit.
Yikes.
And
Okay,
they're gonna
that was-
surrender. They're not even gonna let the Nexus explode.
That is the GG
Ooh, the new
coming out
team.
for Argon. I feel like they
Osmium.
played so well early game and then they just
It looked
scrambled
so
under pressure.
promising. It looked so promising. Lots of good things happening in the early game, but maybe just the fact that these guys don't know each other too well. They haven't played together for too long. I think maybe in the end that just cost them the win. A bunch of communication issues, something they can fix over this week. Going into week 2, I think Osmium is going to be a stronger team, definitely. And Lucis Improve is definitely someone who looks to be a rising star here.
Yeah, I mean, Noli farmed yesterday. If they can get like a few scrims in with the next couple of weeks, they'll be much stronger. I mean, it's only uphill for them.
Yeah, definitely.
But overall, the games were pretty interesting. A bit too much Ornn for my liking. I prefer carry top laners, you know, just because of the outplay potential they bring.
Yeah, we had a lot of wet noodle slapping today in the top lane. It's probably what you're gonna expect from most of the split. It's so easy to just put your top laner on a tank, just to have him play something with CC. Obviously, it's just so easy. It's so delicious having a tank on your team, and if you do end up picking that carry top laner, then you need to find some sort of utility somewhere else that can frontline for you.
So for now, Ornn has 100% win rate, right?
Yeah.
In stream games, yes.
Very true. 3 games, 3 wins. So impressive.
To all the captains watching, you know what to pick for next week.
Or what to ban.
Yeah, true. I think Ornn ban is definitely something that all the teams overlooked today, and leaving that up next week could be very dangerous.
Yeah,
I want
definitely.
to go on, as I've asked every single game, MVPs, my own vote would go for Hush, with special mentions to Nami, Suffragette, I hope I'm saying that right, and Modlo on the Diana as well. Beautifully played towards the later part of the game, but unfortunately the early game is gonna cut him off from my MVP voting.
Definitely. I would say the Ornn played really well, but the early game definitely wasn't his strongest part. He got caught out like the level 2, I think. Got the early lead for the Cassiopeia, which basically snowballed the entire mid lane. But yeah, I do think Hush deserves the MVP slot here.
Yeah, if I'm correct, he didn't die. So that's quite impressive.
Very true. Stayed safe, played well with the Nami. Honestly, MVP probably just Argon bot lane. Beautifully played, beautifully executed. I mean, the enemy bot lane, Osmium, they're 0-14-1. So hopefully Osmium has some players with strong mental. You need strong mental here. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to come back from this, because it's devastating. You're a new team, fine, but You're not gonna sit here like, oh, we're a new team, that's why we're losing. You're gonna sit here being like, oh my god, we suck. We just won't ever win. We need to disband. Blah blah blah. So hopefully, good mental. They can see the positives in this. They had a good early game. They just need to work on communication, and then they win.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's only uphill from them from here on out. At the end of the day, in my mind, the worst LGS team ever is Cobalt. So,
Yeah, I mean,
I think everyone know
Wait.
how that went.
we have so many weeks left, and we don't know the strength of these teams yet. Argon could prove to be a decent team. You never know. So
I mean, with Hush, that would be quite hard.
that's true. Obviously, Hush is probably a player you need to replace if you want to actually win stuff. But in all seriousness, a lot of teams going out today 1-1 if my calculations are correct. So, I mean, it just shows that it's the start of the split. People need to find each other and figure out where they're strong. So, I mean, I think we had an exciting first day, some good games. First game was absolutely incredible to watch with the wombo combo of Wukong, Ornn, and the Yasuo was beautiful to watch. And I think Mercury as well. We might say it was a bit boring to watch, but honestly, well executed game. They ended it pretty well. Like there was not really any mistakes. They had a bit of a bad early game, but they came back and they completely dominated that game. So that was pretty impressive.
Yeah. Plus, at the standings at the moment, almost all teams are 1-1.
Yeah,
Thallium is 2-0.
I believe Thallium is 2-0. They had a very strong showing against Krypton. We obviously didn't see their game against Radon, but they did win against two of the teams that we mentioned as top 3 teams. And Thallium, honestly, look really, really good. And it's a little too early to call them the massive favorites for this, but definitely going into week 2, I'm looking to see if they can build on this momentum. They have Mercury as their first game week 2, and if I'm ranked right now team captain of Mercury, I'm trying to get all my best players in for that game because that is going to be very important to come out with a win for that one.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. Radon today was vastly an underpowered squad from the looks of it. Quite a lot of their main members weren't there, but Krypton, that was their full strength squad right there. So, I mean, it was a really close game. It could have went either way, but it does show that Thallium does have a lot of potential as a team.
Yeah, 100%. Looking really good.
So anyway, that will conclude today's stream. We've been streaming for over 3 hours now. I'd like to thank everyone who's taken part in the games, and also Wallter and WolfeN for taking part as guest casters this week.
Thank you for having me on the show.
No
Amazing
problem.
game to watch, dude.
The Thresh God is right here, seriously.
Nah, I make fiddlesticks now. Come on, let's say.
The
I
Yasuo
hope
fiddle
not.
bot lane, boys. That's the way to win. Anyway, we'll see you all next week. Bye.
Boy.
See ya.